into another first game of the second game, actually, of the new year 2024. It's the final game of this match week. It's West Ham against Brighton. And I suggested pre-match to Paul Robinson, do we need to talk about West Ham against Brighton? And then you suggested, quite rightly, it's probably the game of the weekend.
Well,
West Ham, the way that these sides are playing at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, both teams playing extremely well. The uncertainty around David Moyes' contract, it beggars belief day by day. And, they're sat sixth in the Premier League with a European trophy in the cabinet, competing in a European trophy again this season, while sat in a European position in the Premier League. I mean, what more do the West Ham want? I understand about the style of play and all the rest of it, but football evolves. You get results. Football's about getting results and putting your team in a position. And David Moyes has done an extremely good job. I mean, they've had a couple of blips this year. The heavy defeat at Anfield, the heavy defeat against Fulham, but then the last two results, I mean, beating Man United at home, Arsenal away. Arsenal away for me was West Ham's result of the season. But it was a great performance. And it's Brighton putting 4 past Tottenham. Brighton, they're always good for a goal and always good to concede a goal. So I think West Ham at the London Stadium are strong. They've lost 5-0 twice, like I said, but at home they're a different proposition against a free-scoring Brighton team at the moment.
There's a case, as we've made, for David Moyes to be the man of 2023. Certainly one of the managers of 2023. This West Ham side now have more than enough tools to beat most Premier League sides at the moment, Brighton being one of them, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with Paul. I think he's done a brilliant job. He really has. He's delivered a trophy. The West Ham fans were desperate for that. They all enjoyed the European away days last year, delivered that trophy. They're competing back in the top half of the Premier League table, beating some big sides. United's comfortably. That was a massive win against Arsenal. They've beaten Tottenham away as well. So some really good wins this season. They've not had injuries. And I wonder, Paqueta got injured. Zuma couldn't play against Arsenal. If they start mounting up, I'm not sure they'd have the squad to cope with it. So that's why I give Brighton a chance for that. Brighton have coped with the injuries. They've had a lot of injuries. They're a good side. Brighton are a really good side. Completely outplayed Spurs. I think they get revenge because West Ham are the only team to beat Brighton away this season. So I think this is where Brighton get the revenge. What a good game. Really good game, this one.
Here's a stat for you, for all you David Moyes out and all those who want him out of a job. I've got a list here of exactly the points of what was attained at this point last season. So this is at the same club compared to where they were last season. West Ham have 18 more points than they did at this point last season, and they had a fantastic season last year. They've got 18 more points now. Villa have got 14 more, Liverpool 13 more, and Everton 11 more. Bournemouth 9 more. So West Ham have 18 points more than they did at this point last season, and there's still calls for his job. Don't get it at all.
Those 11 of Everton, have they taken 10 off them?
Probably, yeah. You would think so. But I mean, so we're talking about this Ange ball and Tottenham and how great they are, and we're all waxing lyrical about Tottenham, yet David Moyes is set to lose his job, and we're waxing lyrical about Ange. Tottenham have got 3 points more than they had at this point last season. Yeah,
West Ham, if you're talking about injuries maybe mounting up, Neil, they've got a very nice January. They play against Brighton, then they play Bristol City in the FA Cup, and then they've got one game in the rest of January, which is away at Sheffield United. So if they want to have a breather before they go back into Europe and get back into the league again, this is the time, isn't it? And I thought it was really interesting watching David Moyes, listening to him talk about Jared Bowen post-match and the way that he sees him as a goal scorer now, where he's previously at Hull. When he was playing on that side with Andy Robertson, he was cutting in off the right, and he was doing that for West Ham for a long time as well. And he's like 27 now, isn't he? You still think of Jared Bowen as quite young, but he is a solid Premier League goal scorer now, and he's got a bit of a sniff about him in terms of goals.
Yeah, and he becomes one of those players which could be spoken about for England in the summer. I think what's helped him is the arrival of Kudus. I think that has given West Ham something extra in the final third, which has enabled them to have Bowen down the middle rather than on one of the flanks. Antonio being out injured as well. You think of West Ham under Moyes, Antonio as the centre forward. He's not been playing, and so they've had to change the style slightly. I think Paqueta is an unbelievable player to watch. I don't know how serious his injury is, how long he'll miss, but he will be a miss. Kudus and Bowen are a big threat, and that's where you give West Ham a goal for this one. I just really like Brighton, and maybe a goal scorer for them would be Ferguson. He's got 1 in his last 10 Premier League games. Surprised at that. I look at him as a player who's very good. A couple of players coming back for Brighton. So, Brighton to win this game. and Ferguson to score would be one advantage. Last time West Ham beat Brighton, there you go, at home, was 2012, and it was a championship game. That was the last time West Ham beat Brighton at home. It was 6-0. Vaz Tay got a hat-trick. Kevin Nolan got one. There was an own goal. And who got the other one? Carlton Cole. There you go. That was the last time West Ham beat Brighton at home. 6-0. That was a battering, wasn't it?
That'd be old Upton Park, wasn't it? 2012, or they wouldn't have just moved in. It wasn't quick enough to move in after the Olympics, was it? So, Ricardo Vaz Tay. I never thought we'd mention his name in this one. West Ham, Brighton. We've waxed lyrical about David Moyes. He's gone for Brighton. 2.46 on, or 2.3 on West Ham.
Yeah, I like West Ham at home. We saw them against Manchester United at home, and I think they're strong. Brighton will score, that's what they do. But I think West Ham will just be a little bit more resilient than Spurs will. It'll be a very different game. Spurs played open and expansive right into Brighton's hands. West Ham won't do that, hence the reason that a lot of fans, or a few fans, want David Moyes out, because of the way that they play. Defensively, they're very well structured and hard to break down. So for me, it's maybe an under 3.5 on the goals, but I think West Ham will nick it. I think West Ham will nick it by the odd goal.
Interesting game to follow, and you can follow it in the Clubhouse with sportsbet.io.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. For the best live bets, this is Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Please gamble responsibly.
And hello, everybody. Welcome along Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Always gamble responsibly, Clubhouse creatures around the world. Good to see you this day. I don't even know what date it is still. Is it Tuesday? Simon B?
Tuesday, yep.
Yeah, Tuesday. And we have one final game before we take a little bit of a Clubhouse TV break. Because it's a while since the next Premier League game. I think it's a week on Saturday. I think we're back with the 13th of January. West Ham, though, are playing Brighton tonight. Should be a good game, this. 3.15 for West Ham. 3.65 if you fancy the tie. And 2.22 if you fancy Brighton, Simon. Have we got the teams?
Sure do, James. And, well, as expected, there are changes for both sides. David Moyes is without Mohamed Kudus, who's headed off to the Africa Cup of Nations with Ghana. But Said Benrahma hasn't gone with his country yet. Is it Algeria? He's still available and plays. There are also changes in defence and midfield. Lucas Paquetá.
That's the thing with that, because apparently the clubs have to make their players available from the 1st of January, but it's up to the countries to decide when they take them. So you can get lucky or unlucky there, can't you?
Well, I think it's been a case of give with one hand, take with the other for West Ham tonight. Lucas Paquetá has a knee injury. Vladimir Soufal has reportedly, he's been left out. He's been considering a move due to unhappiness over his contract situation. Ooh. That is peculiar because this is the first game, this is the first minute of football this season, that's Premier League football, that Soufal has missed. He's played in every single Premier League minute.
Well, it might be just a coincidence that the transfer window's just opened. You reckon?
Anyway, Ben Johnson, the aforementioned Benrahma, and Pablo Fornals are the players that come in. And West Ham lineup, Areola in goal, Johnson, Mavropanos, Ogbonna, Emerson across the back, Alvarez, Souček in midfield, Benrahma, Ward-Prowse and Fornals behind Jared Bowen as the striker. And of course, it's Brighton, so there are changes for them as well. Captain Lewis Dunk unavailable due to suspension, and Adam Webster starts in his place. Steele in goal, Hinchelwood, Van Heck, Webster, Estupinian across the back four, Gross, Gilmore, Milner in midfield, Buonanotte behind Welbeck, and João Pedro up front.
If only one of my players in my fantasy team had not started this week, I'd have got all 18 points from Palmer, because although he's third on the bench, Paquetá and Cash were ahead of him, so he'd have been the next substitute to be used. Dave Tyndall somehow has spawned 10 points more than me this week, despite starting about 30 points behind me yesterday. Had Mo Salah. Did you see the penalty decision?
No, I've not seen any of the game, no.
It was not a penalty.
No.
Oh, the VAR, if you're going to be around, get it right. Anyway, West Ham are taking on Brighton. We do have a 10 USDT free bet, or 10 times 10 USDT in free bets to give away. There isn't a thing required yet. Stay with me. You'll understand as we go through the first half. It'll kind of all become clear to you. There's going to be chances to win as we go through this match rather than all in one go. And we have, as I say, got a while to wait before the next Premier League game, because West Ham Brighton today, and then the next matches are on, as I say, the 13th with Chelsea against Fulham, Newcastle against Man City on that day, and then we are back up and running with football coming thick and fast then for the remainder of January. Shelby, he says, hi James and Simon.
Hi
Hello
Shelby.
to you, Shelby. His Royal Majesty Marcus Maharaji Kaiser Caesars our Supreme Ayatollah Grand Rex. Society the Grand Wizard of Mon, the Quiz Master Guru.
He always types them very quickly, doesn't he? Do you think he's got them like saved on a document that he cuts and pastes?
Yeah.
Or is he just always very fast at typing them?
He's probably got one for his bank manager. He's got one. He's got got things for everybody. So, bank manager, the Wizard of Wizard of Money. We are teams about to come out anyway to start off this West Ham Brighton game. But as I say, the 10 USDT chances. Viv, hello to you. He's got a picture of me there going. That's what I was doing. And there's you, Brian Cox. Professor Brian Cox. With DT last night, reminding me there with you being the Quizmaster Guru, I gave him some more of those questions last night. I might give you a few.
How did he get on?
He was all right.
Good.
Yeah, he was okay. But I might give you a few more. I'm going to give you the miscellaneous football quiz.
Like it.
That's what we'll do tonight as we go through. Anyway, we are not too far away. That's a nice picture of the stadium.
Yes, it's one of those stadiums that looks nicer than it probably is to watch football in, but it's definitely got a sort of... they've dressed it well. They've made it look as much like a football stadium they can, but it still isn't really a football stadium, is it?
Whoever runs the Moore as it's spelled as in Bobby Moore, more than just a podcast. It's got beautiful advertising there, as his banner was shown for quite a few seconds on the TV coverage, but not long. We have got other football tonight, not a huge amount, because obviously we're still creeping into the new year. But if you want to get involved with any of the other matches around we've got Real Sociedad against Alaves in La Liga, and that's 0-0 as they start the second half there. Real Sociedad losing their goalkeeper just before the break as that kicks off again. And then a little bit later, we've got Valencia taking on Villarreal in La Liga. Other matches around the world do exist. Few and far between, as I say, but if there's anything else you'd like us to talk about, feel free to shout, and we'll try and help you out. For West Ham Brighton, then.
Yes. I'm liking Brighton.
Are you liking Brighton?
I'm liking Brighton tonight, yeah. I mean, it does feel a little bit, I don't know, reactionary, but it's not reactionary because West Ham won the last game and won the last game well as well. These two teams played very well last time we saw them, didn't they?
The light show's good, isn't it? They do one at Spurs, don't they, as well? But look at that. The lights flashing around. It's like a bit of like a firework display, but using all the lights in the stadium. Very, very smart indeed. There is rapid betting available on this one as well. I've rediscovered it, and I will share the link for you on the chat if you want to have a play with the old rapid betting this evening. Obviously, gamble responsibly as always, everybody, but it is there for you. In terms of the best bets then inside this game, 3.15 for West Ham, as I say, 3.65 the tie, Brighton 2.22. So they are the shorter of the prices. Where would you go for the best value?
I'd look at Brighton to win and both teams score, I think. That's generally what happens when Brighton do win away from home. Their last away win came at Nottingham Forest 3-2. Prior to that, they won at Manchester United 3-1 and at Wolves 4-1. So in all three of Brighton's away wins this season, there have been lots of goals and both teams have scored. Now, they don't always win away, do they? Because they only drew 1-1 at Palace, 2-0 lost at Arsenal, 3-2 defeats at Chelsea. But I just think they're taking on a West Ham team here at a good time without Kudus, with problems it's not a makeshift back four.
He's been big for them, Kudus, though, hasn't he?
He's been big recently, yeah. But the back four is also possibly an issue with changes there. Mavropanos and Ogbonna are not their first choice duo at all. Aguerd is out still. I think they can get at that defence, particularly with João Pedro in the form he's in, and I'd go with Brighton to win, both teams to score.
They are the both teams to score specialists, aren't they? It's around about 1.61 for both teams to score in this match. If you want to take the outrights out of the equation, but you look at Brighton's last, the last two games, they didn't score against Arsenal, and they kept Marseille to a clean sheet. But apart from that, it is a sea of both teams to score their games, and particularly in the Premier League. Only Arsenal has not been both teams to score in their last 15, 20, 23 matches. So 22 of the last 23 matches involving Brighton in the Premier League have been both teams to score. 1.61 on that basis is an absolute steal, isn't it?
Yeah. The 1x2 on both teams to score. I just saw it then, but it's just disappeared on me. I had that market and it's now gone.
Imarios says, hello, finally catch you guys from the beginning. Hello, Imarios,
so
nice to see you.
Brighton, there we go. Brighton and yes is what I'm looking for. Brighton and yes is 4.00. So I think that's a much better, a much more attractive price than the 2.22 for them just to win. And like I say, when Brighton win away from home, both teams score, so you might as well add it on.
Simon Barlow, Jeremy Powell wants to know what's going on.
Okay. With what?
I don't know. Just tell me what's going on, Si. If I was to say to you, Simon, what's going on, what would you reply?
Tonight we have me and James talking betting whilst you know all this. Whilst West Ham play Brighton. What's going on is the transfer window's open.
Yes.
There's probably lots of talks going on behind the scenes about moves and what have you. And maybe Vladimir Sofal's the fact that he's not playing tonight is something to do with that.
Well, he's played well for them, isn't he? So he's possibly a target for a few. I've seen a few names mentioned over the last few days about XYZ interested in ABC, but we'll see how it goes. Until they've signed on the dotted line and been announced, all of it's speculations until then. Jeremy Powell says, I need to stop with my American lingo.
Yeah.
What's up, Jeremy? What's up? And Mario says, I have over 2.5 goals in tonight's game.
Yeah, I like it.
Left in my ACCA. So is that that's the last leg of your ACCA, Marios?
Hopefully.
Well, good luck. Good luck. I think over 2.5 is a good bet in this. I think we'll get goals here. I'd be very disappointed, Si, if this is 0-0.
So 2 of the last 4 West Ham home games have gone over 2.5, but the other 2 that didn't were exactly 2 goals. So close. And 2 of the last 4 Brighton away games have gone over 2.5, and the other 2 games were exactly 2. So I'd say 2 goals at the absolute minimum tonight, but 3 very, very possible.
If Brighton win tonight, they will go to, where are they gone? 33 points. They'll be level on points with West Ham, who are currently in 6th. If West Ham win tonight, they don't go up in the table, but they go within 1 win behind Spurs in 5th. So they'll kind of keep pace with Spurs on 39 points, Arsenal, Man City. So they'll kind of keep themselves in that race at the top. So quite an important game from that respect. 38 games make a season, but obviously 1 game can make a difference in bridging the gap, and that's what they need to do to reach the top 5. So we'll see how that goes. As I say, we're going to get slightly differently with the free bet tonight, and it's going to be kind of maybe 5 times as we go through the first half. 2 of you will win, and we need things to happen. And shall we start with something nice and simple? And it's not the referee to blow the whistle to kick them off. Just Jared Bowen to have a shot on goal. Jared Bowen to have a shot. It can be off target, on target.
Okay.
If Jared Bowen has a shot for West Ham, bang, free bet lands. 2 of you will win 10 USDT.
What if he doesn't? What if we go through 90 minutes?
It's going to be a very long night, Si.
Really?
Yeah.
What if he gets injured after 5 minutes?
If he gets injured, then we may change it. Honestly, this is half empty, isn't it? All the time with you.
I just think we need to
the time with you, Barry.
We just need to set the parameters out there so there's no...
No, we don't, because we make the rules on here. We can change them whenever we like.
You mean you make the rules? I have to adhere to them.
Yeah. So, Jared Bowen to have a shot. It can be off target. It can go into row Z. But if Jared Bowen has a shot, bang, bang, 2 free bets land.
I think it would have to be a very freakish game if we went 90 minutes without West Ham's main striker not having a shot on goal in the entire 90 minutes.
We'll make the second one something to do with the Brighton team. But Jared Bowen is your man to start us off. The first 2 free bets will be whether he has a shot on goal. We're not too far away from kick-off in the Premier League.
Counting down to kick-off, covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League. Live. This is Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Please gamble responsibly.
David Moyes and Roberto De Zerbi having a big chat and a bear hug there on the sidelines before their 2 teams do battle down there in London. West Ham taking on Brighton, about to take the first kick in that match. And an interesting one, this one. I'd take your Brighton pick. I'm actually slightly favouring West Ham, I have to say. I think West Ham on the price are a play in this. I think you look at the prices, 3.15 for West Ham, 3.55 the tie, 2.24 for Brighton. I'm going to go against you.
I'm not. Yeah, I know what you mean. Looking at the bare results, you'd say West Ham's results at home recently have been very good, but that's with Paquetá playing. That's with Mohamed Kudus playing. That's with their best defence, or certainly getting up much close to their best defence. I think they're just missing too many key players tonight. And
I can see that. I can see. I mean, Kudus is a player I've liked enough to put him in my fantasy team, so I do see your point there. I'm going to go rogue. I'm going to go straight in with the free but rapid bet here. I'm going to go for a card to be awarded between minutes 2 and 12. Sometimes you get an early flag in the sand from a referee, so I'm going to gamble on that as rapid bets. But gamble responsibly. Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io for the last time before the 13th of January. So make sure you enjoy your time off from us. You can do whatever you like during that period. Watch lots of football. Have a bet with sportsbet.io, or just sit back and relax and rejoin us on the 13th. But there is FA Cup action and all sorts of things in between, but we don't cover that. It's just the Champions League, Europa League and the Premier League here on Clubhouse TV.
Yeah, the pitch looks great, doesn't it? The atmosphere is building. So, I mean, Brighton are a team, I think they've struggled a little bit more than last year away from home this season.
Jared Bowen, can he get a shot away? Oh, no, it's blocked.
Shouts for a penalty. Referee says goal kick.
I don't think that counts as a shot, so we need something a bit more, obviously, a shot before we can land the first 2 free bets. Nearly landed in the first minute. But Jared Bowen, he's going to be the focal point for West Ham tonight, isn't he? So I think we'll land the first two fairly easy, and then we'll go for something else after that. But for those just joining us, there are potentially 10 USDT free bets tonight. But we're going to do it slightly differently. We're going to, the first two rely on Jared Bowen having a shot. Alexi, hello to you. Fretless 8, why bubbles on the fields? Fretless, West Ham song. I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air.
Yeah, something like that.
So that's their theme tune, and they basically blow the bubbles onto the ground as they sing that. So that's the reason.
It's like a 5-year-old's birthday party. They have like a bubble machine by the side of the pitch, and it greets the players. It's just generates atmosphere. But it is a bit childish, isn't it? Come on.
So don't
grow up, West Ham. Come on, you're older than 5.
Don't fret, Fretless. Don't fret. There's all a reason. Enlightened, he says. Thank you. It's a pleasure, Fretless. We're here to entertain. We're here to educate as we go through. Don't rely on the latter. And Bizu and Chi, hello to you too as well. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Fun, fast, ferociously fair, taking you through every kick of this season's Premier League. And West Ham Brighton, the fair tonight. And if you're involved in this one, in play markets now, West Ham 3.05, 3.6 the tie, 2.3 for Brighton. So Brighton have gone out a little bit. Yep. West Ham have gone in a little bit.
A little question for you here, James. Who has the better form between West Ham and Brighton in terms of home or away? So is West Ham's home form better than Brighton's away form? What do you think?
Ooh.
Relative to the... So, okay, there's two ways of looking at this.
That's interesting.
You can look at it in terms of points gained. I'm not interested in that. I'm looking at it in relative to the rest of the division. So, obviously, away teams generally don't get as many points as the home teams. But are Brighton higher in just the away team table than West Ham are in the home team table?
Koki's gone both teams to score and West Ham to win, so he's gone reverse of you, but gone both teams to score as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that Brighton's away record is better than West Ham's home record.
It's not. No,
I thought that's why you picked them. That's why I went down that route. I was using my noggin.
Oh well, I'm just giving more illumination to tonight's game. So West Ham are currently 11th, but only 11th in the home table. You'd think they'd be higher, wouldn't you? But they're actually below Manchester United, Wolves, Fulham, and Brighton, and all the usual suspects as well. Brighton are 12th in the away table, so they really haven't been as effective away from home as
where are West Ham
they were last season.
Where are West Ham in the away table?
West Ham are
presumably higher,
6th in the away table. They've been more effective.
Obviously, being 7th, you'd expect them to have got a point somewhere.
That said, because this is the last game of a round of fixtures, these two teams are a game in deficit to everybody else in those respective home and away tables. So if Brighton were to get a point tonight, they would move up a couple of places in the away table. If West Ham were to get a point tonight, they would move up probably 3 or 4 places in the home table. They've just had a game less. But I still think it's worth looking at that maybe Brighton's away form. We've got to look at that seriously and say it's just not been as effective this season. So last season, Brighton had 8 Premier League away wins, which is pretty good. You know, you play 19 home games, 19 away games, but to win 8 away from home was very good. Halfway through this stage, Brighton have only got 3 away wins. So they're a bit down on last year's away record.
Hello, Joe. He says, what do we need, King? For the first 2 free bets tonight, Joe, we need Jared Bowen to have a shot. It can be off target, it can be on target, he can score with it. But if he has a shot on the Brighton goal, then the first 2 free bets tonight win. I'll ask you a question. We'll pick out 2 winners, and then we'll move on to a different thing for the next part of the matches. So hopefully Jared Bowen gets a shot away as soon as possible, and then we can get 2 of you a free bet in your back pockets before we get too far into this match. I thought there was going to be a red card in Spain there. The referee got his wallet out of his pocket. His cards were in his wallet, and the top of the cards was the red. And he just put them back in his pocket again. Didn't actually use them. Draw or first 2, says Koki. We'll do a draw, Koki. It's fairer, I think. The first 2 thing kind of just... Some people seem to have faster connections and are able to get... seem to get the same names towards the top end. So we'll do a draw. A quick draw. Get 2 of you winners, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, not a great deal happening in this game. No shots on target or even shots at all as yet. Played 6 minutes, and West Ham are just comfortably passing it around the back. Brighton not really pressing them with any great urgency. Just wonder, maybe this is a game that's come right at the end of a very busy period for both these teams, and I think they're just starting in second gear, really, rather than we've seen some games, like the games we saw on Sunday, start in fourth or fifth gear right from the get-go. Arsenal scoring after a couple of minutes against Fulham, and Tottenham scoring very early on against Bournemouth as well. They were just really electric games from the start, and this one is the exact opposite.
A bit slow, isn't it? A bit slow. Any suggestions for... obviously, the first one is Jared Bowen to have a shot. Any suggestions for anything we can look at, after that? Let me know if you've got anything in mind that we could use as a potential free bet winner in the rest of this match. Then tell me on the Telegram chat, and I will decide whether to use it or not. But any suggestions are more than welcome, as Brighton seem to have had a little bit more of the ball in the West Ham half than West Ham have had the ball in the Brighton half, if that makes sense. But nobody done anything with it just yet. Simon looking towards Spain at the moment.
Yeah, earlier game was an interesting one. Rayo Vallecano beat Getafe 2-0, and a couple of red cards in that one. There's been a red card in this one as well, hasn't there?
Yeah,
Real Sociedad currently down to 10.
Keeper went
against Alaves.
Keeper came flying out and handled the ball to stop the striker getting it. So
for me, this has got 0-0 written all over it now. I think Real Sociedad are a side that can put up the shutters when they need to, and this is probably a situation where they need to now against 11 men. Alaves have got a poor record all round, really. They've lost the last 3 on the bounce. They would probably take a draw, even against 10 men, they'd take a draw, try and draw themselves away from the relegation zone. So I think 0-0 has to be the obvious play in this Spanish game at the moment. I'll just try and find the market on that.
Bizu suggested an offside, potentially. If we get an offside in the West Ham Brighton game, that could be a future free bet winner.
Under 0.5 is 2.06. That's probably the best way of playing the 0-0 in Real Sociedad versus Alaves.
Hello, Bizu. Hello, Brahi.
Hello.
And nice of you to join us tonight. As I said, I'm not going to be here until the 13th of January after this. And Joe says, it's going to be a long time without you guys. We could do some merchandise, couldn't we? Like pillowcases or something with our faces on. So when you go to bed at night, you just basically lie on Simon Barlow's face.
No, don't do that.
Just keep you in his mind.
Yeah.
In his nightmares. Wakes up in the middle of the night and there's Barlow staring at him.
I mean, we could just get on the Telegram group, couldn't we? And just talk to the guys, even if they're missing us that much. We'd have to just give up on that, do we?
Or
I'll leave it up to you, James.
Or after working most of Christmas and New Year, I could just have some time off.
Yeah, okay.
I could just have a bit of time off. I prefer that, to be honest.
Okay.
Nothing personal, Clubhouse creatures, but I'll wait to see you on the 13th. Kind of absence makes the heart grow fonder, doesn't it? So by the time I get back, I will love the creatures even more.
Yeah, and the next round of Premier League fixtures is that crazy split week, isn't it? Where there are 5 games one week and 5 games the next. So
yes.
It's not a full programme for the next round of Premier League fixtures, on that weekend anyway.
I'm doing the preview with Paul and Neil for at least one of those weeks because Dave Easton's going to be away. And we've only got 5 matches to look at. So It's like going to be a very short one. Going to come in here, set everything up, do 5 matches and go home again.
Yeah. Liverpool had a good win last night, didn't they? Top of the table, looking good to push Manchester City.
Cheating Liverpool.
Or Aston Villa all the way. Well, I mean...
They deserve to win because they had about 15 million shots to 1, but that penalty was not a penalty. If there had been any justice in the world, Dubravka's yellow card will be overturned and the striker, what's his face?
Will Newcastle be threatening to... will they be asking for the game to be replayed like Klopp did after the bad decision? So Liverpool have had one bad decision all season and they want the game to be replayed, but then they've got all these decisions go for them, almost like a make-up that the referees are doing now.
I'll tell you what,
that complaint.
I'm not sure Eddie Howe will see much of 2024 in that Newcastle dugout because they're currently in 9th place, Newcastle, in the Premier League, and they've got both Chelsea and Wolves are only 1 point behind them. So if the next round of fixtures goes against Newcastle and 4 Chelsea Wolves, they could be down to 11th. Then Bournemouth and Fulham are not too far behind. Before you know it, if Eddie Howe doesn't get Newcastle winning again, they could be down in 13th, 14th. That's not what the Saudi owners have bought Newcastle for, to be down in lower mid-table obscurity. So Eddie Howe needs to get them winning. I know he's been hamstrung with injuries and tiredness and blah, 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 but that's the job of a manager. He's got a decent squad there. And was it 8 games out of 9 they haven't won or something in the Premier League. It's something ridiculous. And they are expecting more from him than that. So although he's got a bit of credit in the bank, he's rapidly spending it, I think.
Yeah, there was just a moment, wasn't there? I mean, like I said, I didn't watch the game last night, but there was just a moment when they equalised, and you're thinking, all right, so this is your chance here to right the ship. This is your chance with about 40 minutes to go at Anfield. You 1-1 in a game where you should already be about 3-0 down. Now's your chance to make something of this situation and get a positive result, which could turn around your season, and it just didn't happen.
No, so he's under pressure. Your boy's under pressure, Erik ten Hag. And there's a few managers going into 2024 with a little bit to prove if they're going to see out the year, I think, in terms of their jobs with their respective sides. Anybody else that you think's under pressure a little bit? Mentioned Ten Hag at Manchester United, Newcastle's Eddie Howe. Pochettino maybe, if he doesn't quite get it going, but there are signs he's starting to get Chelsea moving the right way.
Not at the moment. I think Pochettino's still got a little bit of, leeway there.
Here come West Ham down the left-hand side. Can Jerabo gets a shot away? Not on that occasion. Cross into the hands of the keeper.
To be honest, probably no. I don't think there is. Each of those two, isn't it? Eddie Howe, Erik ten Hag.
Even Sheffield United, they've only just changed manager. Burnley, Luton have got 2 managers they massively respect and probably would go down with.
Yeah.
Everton, Sean Dyche is doing a good job despite being in 17th. They're actually really on 26 points and should be sort of 12th-ish in the league.
Oh, Roy Hodgson, obviously. He's still in charge, isn't he? But,
well, there's the chat about Steve Cooper taking his role, isn't there?
Yeah, but then you see today, Birmingham City have parted company with Wayne Rooney. Not really been a popular decision to install him. So now they're talking that Steve Cooper could be a target for Birmingham.
He knows how to get a team up, doesn't he? That's often what Championship sides look for. They don't necessarily look for your Jurgen Klopps. They look for a manager that's maybe taken a couple of teams up before. And can
if you're Steve Cooper, do you go, right, well, I've done all that. I don't need to prove myself in the Championship again. I'm saying, thank you for asking me, Birmingham, but no, I'm a Premier League manager now. I've not only taken a team up, I've kept them up. So that's where I set my level now.
Well, what would you be if you were him?
You'd have to look at the project, wouldn't you? And you say, is the Birmingham project what that could be? Is that more exciting than what Crystal Palace? I'm assuming it's Roy Hodgson next to go. That Crystal Palace are now, and I'm not really sure. I think you'd say neither of them are particularly, jump out of the page at me. But I don't want to be out of work for like 6 months and you say, and I need to get back in soon.
He's had a taste of the Premier League though, Si. And I know he'll want to get back into work, but you go down a level to Championship again, and then you don't make an instant start, and you end up being sacked at Birmingham. All of a sudden, your CV, you're only as good as your last job, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
And your CV shows you sacked at Birmingham. You're probably then looking at a job either in the Championship again or League One. Whereas if you go to Crystal Palace, at least you're kind of being sacked out of the Premier League and could then drop in the Championship next time.
I think if you take Crystal Palace down, no matter who you are, you're probably not going to be in that job for long.
Bowen to cross the ball, says Koki. We need a shot for Mr. Bowen. Didn't listen to the King's show, says Koki.
Yeah, Jared Bowen, he's probably too busy warming up to listen to the condition tonight, so he doesn't know what he needs to do.
They all have an earpiece in.
Oh, do they?
They all have an earpiece listening to Clubhouse TV. Yeah, there's only a little one. It's one of those invisible ones you don't see, but they're all.
Here
listening.
he goes. Oh.
Go on, Jared. Go on, son. Didn't quite get there. Nearly. So what we've had about 15 minutes. Jared Bowen yet to get a shot away, but he's getting closer and closer and closer. Simon Bowler, what's your best bet right now? Tell me, Simon. Tell me, where would you bet now? Because it's been a slow start, hasn't it?
It has.
Or should we just watch this? Jared Bowen's coming forward with the ball. Is he going to get a shot this time? Tries to feed it out to the right and's asked too much of his teammates. So no is the answer.
Total bookings. Am I reading this right? Total bookings 6.5. Have we had a booking in this game yet?
No.
Why is the total bookings market set at 6.5 for a game where we played 60 minutes and not been a foul in the game?
Or can we have the... it's come back. I don't know is the answer to that, quite honestly. Yeah, no yellows, no reds in this match.
Under 6.5. There you go. Under 6.5 is my pick. Best bet right now. There's no way we're going to get even 4 or 5 in this match, let alone 6.5.
We need the picture back because we're not going to see if Jared Bowen has a shot if we don't have the picture.
Well, what can I do? It's not coming up, so what do you want me to do?
Can we stick it on that one? On the other thing? On the left?
There you go, it's back.
Oh, we got all grumpy with me then. What do you expect me to do?
What? You want to carry on?
We have a second option.
I'm just fed up of working with you, James. I was about to swear.
Happy New Year!
I would literally get up and punch you.
What's with the red cards in Spain, says Imarios, and Koki says Roja.
Roja?
I don't know why he says Roja, but he says Roja.
Another one.
There's another yellow.
Yep, just seen it.
He always brings his red out with it. You see him? And he's red with it, and you're thinking, which one's he going to give? A player who sees the flash of the red coming out of his pocket is going to think, oh, blimey, I'm off.
Well, they're all laughing about it on the bench there, thinking they was going to get a red card.
Come on, Jared Bowen. Show some love for the creatures.
Yeah, I can't believe that market's at over 6.5. What are the traders? What are the sportsbet.io guys who trade the game seeing here that I'm not? This is not a cards game at all.
No.
So
it's not at all. There's not even been a big tackle, has there?
It's a big stakes bet for me, this one, I'd say. I'm not a huge stakes better, but in terms of what my units would be, I'd say under 6.5, not a problem. Wouldn't be afraid to put a big stake on that.
Simon's best bet right now, and he believes in it as well. You can hear it. You can hear it in his voice.
I'm going to put it in the chat.
He's tipping it with passion, is Simon B. Here comes Brighton. They haven't really got a shot away just yet, Brighton. So far, shots on target, none versus none. So far, blocked shots is none versus none. Shots off target is none versus none. Do we get a shot here? No, is the answer to that. So still yet to get a shot in this match. James, I know it's not free bet TV, but I can ask why we'd not make it draw 10. Just asking. Joe, hopefully we'll get 10. We just... this Bowen one's taking a while, Joe. Be patient, Joe. We should get through 10. We're making it a draw 2 at a time. So it's the same thing, but over a longer period, isn't it?
Yeah. 1.72. Did I read that right? Oh, I've gone over. I want under.
Oh, sorry, what you done?
Edit bet.
What you done? 0-0, no shots. Dreadful game so far. That's why, if you're looking at our eyes in the studio, our eyes are kind of like diverting to the Spanish game a little bit more because there's actually action in that, on the cards and things going on. Here come Brighton, but they're robbed of the ball. Chance for West Ham to maybe break, but not on that occasion. They just play it sideways and take their time. So we're coming up to halfway through the first half, and really they could have just stayed in the dressing room for another 20 minutes, couldn't they?
Yeah, it's maybe a bit too tactical. I don't know if that's the right thing to say. It's just a bit too low in tempo. I mean, this is another reason why it's just not going to be a cards game, because there's no thrust to the game, is there? No team is really trying to penetrate the other team's defence. They're just passing it around with no great direction. And that doesn't lead to challenges and fouls and cards.
Chance for West Ham. Keeper comes out. Actually does quite well in the end. Because
he was offside anyway.
He was coming out of his penalty area there, wasn't he? He was worried about his hands, but trying not to do a Spanish keeper a job on that. I'm going to give you the first question of the night, Simon.
Okay.
I call you Simey there. In what league is the concept of a designated player a feature? In what league is the concept of a designated player a feature?
Okay. I know this one.
Anybody out there know it? Let us know on the Telegram chat. We'll give you first dibs, then we'll see if Simon does actually really know it. But
do you want me to write it down, or?
Well, like you're going to show me your workings, like on Countdown. Yeah. Why not? Stick it on there. There's a pad for you. In what league is the concept of a designated player a feature? In what league is the concept of having no shots in the entirety of the match a feature? The Premier League tonight. No shots so far, says Koki.
Yeah, I told you at 90 minutes, James. We might have to change it. If Jared Bowen goes 90 minutes without having a shot.
He's not going to go 90 minutes without having a shot.
There you go, that's my answer.
Simon's right. Simon's got 1 point. Points make prizes, but there aren't any prizes tonight, so.
A designated player is a player who does not count towards the salary cap. So,
Was that what it is? You could just have one rogue player that's worth $1 billion,
like a luxury player,
Or-
I think. Yeah.
francs, or
believe so.
whatever the currency might be.
So, like a certain Mr. World Cup winner, everybody's favourite is, I believe, one of these.
Well, you'd imagine he would be, because he'd take the salary cap right up, wouldn't he? Here come Brighton down the left. Good tackle, very good tackle there from Alvarez, as James Milner, maybe not quite as fast as he used to be, as he was trying to get down that left-hand side. Nice run from Milner. He had to kind of bend and turn, and it took kind of a while for him to get the engines going there. Allowed the defenders to get back across him. Still 0-0 though between these two sides. Have we got a goal?
We have. Oh, well, that was me saying it's going to be 0-0, and Alaves have scored. Is the VAR on this one, or is it actually going to count? Oh, it's a penalty.
Penalty.
Yeah, it's going to count then.
Oh,
Tucked away.
Slots it away beautifully. So first goal there for Alaves.
I think we've had a shot, James, and it's a Brighton shot.
It was Roja that scored it. Maybe our pictures are way behind, but it's Roja that scored it. So that's why Koki was saying Roja or Roger.
Are our pictures? No, they're not. They're not. No, that is a live goal. It's literally only just gone in. So Koki either predicted it or it was a coincidence and he was saying red for some other reason. But Mr. Red has just scored.
Unless he saw him picking the ball up to take the penalty and it took him a couple of minutes to take the penalty. That might be why.
Okay.
He had a bit of a sniff that he saw him walking around with the ball in his hand. Yes, the red cards tonight. Getafe, 2 red cards. Real Sociedad down to 10 and now down a goal as well with about 13 minutes left there. So it looks like Alaves had done a job on them. Keeper looked distraught when he got sent off. Like he'd let everybody down.
Yeah, you let your family down. You've let your old school teachers down. Your old school chums down.
Get in the box, Jared. Get in the box. Go on, Jared. Come on. He's pulled it short. Oh, pass it to Jared Boney. He was at the side of you.
This is the worst game. This is the worst game. And I really didn't expect it. I thought good teams playing, with a bit at stake, get into the top 6 or push on from good results last time out. And it's like these two teams lost the last game and were hammered or something. They've not turned up at all.
I mean, let's be honest, Clubhouse creatures. If we'd come in and we were going to give you a free bet thing for this match, it'd have been both teams to score. It would have been overs on the goals. It would have been something to happen. So far, absolutely nothing has happened. So your Jared Bowen shot is actually a lot more likely, isn't it, than anything else that we might have put up tonight. So... and once we've got the Jared Bowen shot, which we will get at some stage, once we've got that, we'll give you something a little bit easier for the next round of free bet, for the next 2 correct answers. And it's Joe's saying, no, I mean, it's too hard. Jared Bowen gets loads of shots away. He's been scoring for fun this season.
Well, I'll give you some stats on that.
He will get a shot in this game, Joe, so it's not too hard. 2 winners each time, and then we'll take it all the way through to 90 as well if we need to. How many shots has he had this season on average per game?
I'm looking.
Don't tell me 0.1 or something. I mean, for me, he's the most likely player on that pitch to score. In my humble opinion.
I've just confused myself here by not looking at the right thing.
Go on, Jared. Come on. Referee's holding fort in Spain again.
Got it now.
Referee's been on the TV a lot in Spain. Here we go. Come on, Jared. Pass it to Jared Bowen. Oh, it's played in towards the back post. West Ham play goes down, but they both go down 50-50, and there's nothing happening there. He's offside anyway.
Jared Bowen's had 47 shots in 18 games. That is around about...
2.6, I'd say.
Yeah.
2.6 per match.
It is.
So yet to get one, though, in this game so far. I'll be very surprised if we go through the entire first half without him having some kind of dig from somewhere. And as I say, it doesn't have to be on target. It could go into Rose Ed from 50 yards out and it would still count for you.
Yeah, I mean, the only shot that I've seen... Well, it was a blocked shot that turned into an on-target shot from Brighton because it took a big deflection. So Areola had to get behind it. I wouldn't call it a save. And then nothing on target for Jason Steele to do with just a couple of long balls through, which he had to come out to the edge of his box. And then that shot wide moments ago might be on for Bowen.
Has a shot. Oh, is it the post? It's saved onto the post, but basically...
Offside.
I mean, that doesn't count then, does it?
No. No, because he was offside before the shot took place. That will not be a stat. That is what is known as a nothing that didn't happen. Well, what we saw there was a mirage that didn't happen because the offside flag negates everything that comes after it.
Oh.
Okay. We need to change it, don't we?
No, we're going to give it. He's had a shot. He was offside, but it counts, doesn't it?
Okay.
We'll count it for this purposes of this. Because it's the only... we need to get up and running, don't we, in terms of the free bets. I'm going to ask you a question now on the chat. We're going to do a draw for the first two. So I'm going to put the go into the chat. And stick it in now. Your answer is basically, I want your sportsbet.io username and why you liked watching Clubhouse TV in 2023. Just one sentence. Why you liked watching Clubhouse TV in 2023 and your sportsbet.io username. And then we'll pick two out the hat. And
I need to get the bin of dreams out then.
Oh no, I'll do it on a random number generator.
Okay.
I wasn't asking for me. Just oh. They're all saying me.
Jared Bowen again. Will he get a shot away again?
Go on,
no,
Jared. Go on, Jared.
West Ham having a good spell here.
They're going to score here, Si.
No.
They're going to score. They're going to. Oh, that's a good save.
Yeah.
That's a really good save. So
Steal down low to deny Ward-Prowse.
I actually like sport. Good betting tips and banter, says Roy Steezy. And Vamos, says, well, I'll count that.
Tarzanua or Trazanua, even.
You spelled Tarzanua wrong. You spelled Tarzanua wrong. I'm going to put stop in just a few seconds' time. We'll draw out the first two winners while Simon thinks of something we need to happen next.
Okay.
So you get your thinking cap on, Simon B. And we will ask for your thing next for two more. Trent is typing. Once Trent's got his answer in, then Buy's typing because of sports betting. Bang. So stop. So how many we got in here in terms of correct answers? We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Meanwhile, West Ham are having a very good spell. Last 5 minutes, it's been all West Ham. Brighton have been on the back foot and they've forced a couple of saves, and another cross that goes in is headed over the bar by Bonner, but it's looking like West Ham are just up in it a little bit now. We said both teams started in second gear. I think West Ham have hit third gear now, and maybe they are the play to score first. It doesn't affect the bet too much because my original bet was Brighton to win and both teams to score, but obviously, I suppose both teams have got to score at some point for that to land, and why not West Ham first? West Ham at the moment, like I say, in the first goal live market are the underdogs at 2.32, but if you watch the game, you can see that they are looking more likely.
The first winner is Sergio M. You've won yourself 10 USDT, Sergio. So I'm going to copy your username into my note thing here, and I'll keep this going as we go through the show. So Sergio M, you get the first of our free bets tonight. Only one per night, so you can't win again, Sergio. And then the next number out of the random number generator is number 13. So I need to go from the top here. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, down to Jesus Law. Alexi, Thunder Knight, you've got yourself 10 USDT in free bets. The first two have gone.
Yep.
I tasked you, Simon B, with thinking of the next thing that we need to happen.
Yep,
what have you decided upon?
It is Brighton to get a corner.
Okay. I like that. Basically, next time Brighton get a corner, then the next two free bets will be up for grabs.
No corners for Brighton as yet, so West Ham have had the only one of the game so far. It doesn't feel like a massive corners game, but Brighton have just got a chance here from a free kick. Foul on Buonanotte. If they get this on target and gets tipped behind, then it'll be
happen straight away, couldn't it?
Corner time, yeah.
Straight in there. This is going to be bad, isn't it? Because my credential took about half an hour to get. If yours happens straight away, it'll be like I'm the bad person.
No. Even if you'd picked West Ham to get a corner, that's only just landed. So Jared Bowen to have a shot, albeit it was after an offside, actually happened before West Ham got their first corner, happened before Brighton got their first corner. It's just been such a lacklustre first 25 minutes of the game. Nothing happened, so how could you pick a condition?
This is a chance here, isn't it? This is a real chance.
Yeah.
Very good areas for a free kick.
Areola was fantastic against Arsenal. He was against Liverpool, I should say. He was absolutely brilliant.
Get this on target, man. Come on, at least get this on target. Test the keeper. Test the keeper.
Yeah. That was against Arsenal, wasn't it? I'm thinking about. Not against Liverpool. Crossed in, headed, and saved, and then saved again.
Blocked. At least clear it for a corner. Helped back and then behind for a goal kick. So, nearly, but no cigar. A little bit of incident there, but ultimately, nothing doing. Good survival, kind of straight into his midriff, wasn't it, the shot?
Yeah.
You'd have been disappointed. I mean, his stomach would have had to have disappeared to have let that one in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit flappy, the first intervention, but actually it was a good free kick from Brighton. They got a man free at the back post to head it back across goal, and Areola got, he dealt with it in the end, so give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
So we've not had a huge amount happening in the first half. We've had 2 winners of the free bets, though, so far, so congratulations to you two, Sergio M and Thunder Knight, Alexi, and we will hopefully have 2 more very soon as Brighton get a corner. So fingers crossed we get a Brighton corner before half-time. Stay with us as we go through this game, because despite the fact that the game's absolutely tragically bad, when I spoke to Gav earlier, I had a chat with Gav earlier, and I was thinking this game would be quite good tonight. I thought West Ham, Brighton, 2 good bright sides, having good seasons so far. Gav says, I think this game's going to be rubbish tonight. And it's actually, for the first time, he's been right, isn't he?
It has been disappointing so far, but there's a chance for it to liven up, and you never know. It could turn into a really dramatic sort of finish, which...
you watched Jared Bowen have about 58 shots now. Penalty for Real Sociedad in Spain, by the way.
Wow, chance to equal. So penalty. The referee's evened it up, has he?
So the 10 men of Sociedad have got a chance to level things up.
That's not a penalty. Where's the penalty here?
I don't know. That didn't look like anything, did it? Comes back in.
That is not a penalty.
No.
That is not a penalty.
They'll cancel this pen, won't they, surely?
So...
There's nothing... I mean, he's basically come out to head the ball, and his momentum's taken his shoulder into his opponent, but not...
Absolutely tragic decision.
If that's a penalty. Over 6.5 bookings in Sociedad. Done and dusted, says Viv. Well played, Viv. Simon's on the under 6.5 in the West Ham Brighton game. So far, that is a bet that looks glorious, doesn't it?
And it was 2.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what it is now. Bookings. It'll have gone down, won't it? Total bookings. It's down to 4. It's gone down from 6.5 to 4.5.
Here comes Ben Rama. Shot. Oh, wide of the mark from outside Ben Rama. So that's about the closest we've come to a goal, and that was a shot wide.
This has got to be one of the easiest VAR decisions ever. They've called the referee over to have a look at his own mistake here, really, on the sideline, and surely he's just going to turn around and say, cancel penalty.
He's telling everybody to go away because they're all in his ear here. So leave me alone, I'm watching telly.
Yeah.
I'm watching Clubhouse TV. He's coming back out. Referee says no penalty. Yeah. Quite right. Good decision in the end. That's what VAR's for.
He's going to book him for diving, is he? Is he going to book him for... He's cancelling
the card he gave.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where VAR works.
It is.
The referee's made a mistake on the pitch and VAR's overturned it, basically.
Absolutely, yes.
And that is a mistake that could have cost Alaves a win as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like it's a minor mistake.
When I... when I say just bin VAR, get rid of it, it doesn't take into account, I'm not taking into account all those great decisions.
Brighton into the penalty area. Can we get a corner? No.
Because of awful refereeing like that. So what I ideally in my world would want, better referees and no need for VAR. But unfortunately, unless you can get guaranteed better referees, then you do need VAR.
I wonder on that one, from that angle I just saw, it looked like his elbow was up, and I wonder if the referee saw it from that angle and thought he's just elbowed him in the face there, and maybe got a bit suckered into going down that route. You kind of forget sometimes the referees are like 30 yards away with a player in between them, with maybe a slightly dodgy angle. They don't always get they don't get the camera shot, do they, that we get?
No.
Shot from range from Brighton. He might as well have not bothered.
No.
Buonanotte there.
Good night, Buonanotte.
He puts it into it wasn't row Z, but it was at least row D.
So Brighton should get more corners than West Ham tonight because Brighton don't concede many corners at all. Only Man City and Arsenal have conceded fewer corners than Brighton, whereas West Ham are up there, top 4 for corners conceded, and that's the thing that I look for when it comes to picking a team with the most corners. So
this is the Barlow method, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, let's see if it works, right? So at the moment, you've got West Ham 1-0 up in the corners, and West Ham favourites in the total corner market at, the 1x2 corner market at 1.57. What I'm saying here is I think Brighton are value at 3.00 in corner betting because, like I said, they don't concede many corners. That's not going to be one anyway, so it's still 1-0 to West Ham. Yeah.
In 10 years' time, when you're all sat around your betting consoles and they're all talking about the Barlow method, remember where you saw it first?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Simon Barlow, the man that's invented it. It'd be like the Einstein of bookmaking.
No Slissy tonight. Our director of corners is taking a night off, I think.
You're allowed sometimes. You don't always have to join us.
Director of Bolivian football.
I mean, after tonight, you get loads of nights off until the 13th of January. Yeah. What are you going to do with yourselves? Tell me what you're going to do with yourselves in that time. Have you got any plans for the 11 days in between? Probably 10 days in between, actually, isn't there? 10 days without us. What are you going to do with yourselves? Koki says, Simon, I need your advice about corners in my next bet builder in the English Premier League, he says.
Yeah. Well, it's not for a few days, is it? So,
well, I'll give out your phone number on air, and they can all phone you.
All you need to do, right, is just look at the stats for corners won and corners conceded. In fact, corners conceded is the more important one. So look at the corners that teams... Oh, they've hit the post. Crossbar even. Takefusa Kubo just hit the woodwork for Real Sociedad.
That's like you were swearing.
Takefusa Kubo. Takefusa Kubo has just hit the woodwork.
I wish I see you in the EPL show, says Koki. I'll give you Simon's phone number, Koki. You can phone him up, ask him. Yeah, we'll stick it on the screen later. We'll put it on the ticker. Everybody can phone you during the 10 days.
Glorious equalising goal as well. It was a beautiful shot.
Koki likes your analysis. It's the Barlow method, Koki.
I keep it simple,
yeah,
but I do think it works. And I think, I think it's more of an in-play thing as well. If you have in mind what should happen, and then during a game you're seeing it not happen, then it's going to regress towards what should happen slightly. So you've got a slight edge, I think, going in play on that market rather than sometimes beforehand.
This referee in Spain's obviously had some Christmas cards left over because he's given them out like confetti tonight. Can I call to practice English, says Alexi?
Yeah.
Can I use your phone number? He can have long conversations with you and you can teach him English?
Yeah, I mean...
have you got nothing else to do, Si, in the next 10 days?
I've just got to teach my son English and maths and actually just stop him from cutting his fingers off with scissors as he tries to... Yeah, well, he's always trying to make things in the house. Like
a bloodbath.
Today he tried to make a cardboard pencil case out of an old Pringles box and some other things like toothpaste boxes, and he's getting the massive kitchen scissors out, and I was like, no, you've got your own little scissors for that. Don't be using things that are potentially going to take your digits off.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Alexi says he's joking. So am I, Alexi. I'm not really going to put his number on the screen. I'm not really going to do that. He's not even giving me his number, let alone you lot. Yeah. Should I push it, says Viv? Or, okay, here you go. Good analysis, except about Ten Hag, says Viv.
Because you want him sacked, do you? I've been guilty of being too loyal to Manchester United managers before. Apart from David Moyes, I wanted him sacked, and I was happy when he got sacked. But I didn't really want Jose Mourinho sacked, and that happened because it kind of had to. And I didn't really want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked, but it had to happen, so it did.
I remember you backing Ole.
Yeah. But I think you look at Erik Ten Hag. He's a much better manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had some success initially, but it was unsustainable. So we brought in a manager who'd won titles in the Netherlands and had got teams to the Champions League semi-finals, which is what a Manchester United manager should be, not a guy like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who was, an ex-Molde manager. So there we go. And now, after a little bit of adversity, do we want to get rid of Erik ten Hag now? Is he? It's the players. It's the players that are causing the problem at Man United, not the managers.
Well, I've said this to you before. What are they supposed to be managing if not the players?
How do you manage a guy who hasn't been managed particularly well by the last 5 managers? Someone like Anthony
You go in
Martial.
and do it differently, don't you?
Well, you just get rid of them. But you can't. They can't get rid of the players. They hang around like bad smells at Old Trafford, don't they? Anthony Martial, I'm talking about you.
I'm quite happy.
Phil Jones. They couldn't get rid of Phil Jones. He didn't play for the last 2.5 years of his Man United
I loved
career.
it when Phil Jones left because he basically did this heartfelt thanks to the fans for all his backing during the years. You think, you hardly played, man. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Like David De Gea.
The ground stuff have been on the pitch more than you have.
Yeah. So Phil Jones, right? His contract, he's not played for 2.5 years or whatever before his contract finished. Chance for Brighton. Oh, what a save.
Chance still with the war. Could have tipped it round for a corner, couldn't we?
Areola is just on fire at the moment. He's denied gross the opening goal there.
Alexi says Louis was the best after Sir Alex. Did you like Louis Van Gaal?
His football was boring. It was so... it was an equaliser. They have equalised. Real Sociedad. 10 men. Denied a penalty, quite rightly. Hit the crossbar, and now they've scored.
They're happy. The fans are happy. The Alaves players are not particularly happy, but that's a big goal for Real Sociedad. They've levelled it up, and that should probably be the final score there. 1-1. The manager's a big unit. He's a big, tall fella, and he's been going through the mill tonight, but he's not showing too many emotions, but I should think inside he's punching the air.
Onside.
Sociedad equalise at the last time, says Koki.
He just breaks to him and he finishes off very well.
Alexi says, but he trusted in the young players. I think he's talking about Ollie, is he?
Or
Louis?
Yeah, Louis Van Gaal trusted the likes of Rashford, obviously, and I think Lingard as well. At the time, other players that had sort of less distinguished careers. Well, this is it. These are the players, right, that Manchester United have been big parts of Manchester United's team over the last few years, right? When they leave Manchester United, nobody signs them.
Well, where is he?
Phil Jones, where is he? Does he play football anymore? Is he a footballer? Jesse Lingard, where is he? Is he a footballer anymore? David De Gea, what does he do? He sits on the beach. He's waiting for his phone to ring. Nobody signs these players because they're rubbish. But at Manchester United, nobody thinks they're rubbish because they're playing for Manchester United. But they're rubbish.
Jesse Lingard.
Anthony Martial, he's rubbish.
Jesse Lingard hasn't played since May 23, May of last year, when he played for Forest against Crystal Palace.
There's nothing stopping a club from signing Jesse Lingard, apart from the fact that no club wants to sign Jesse Lingard because he's rubbish. And he got loads of games for Man United. And David De Gea, why have Newcastle, who've needed a goalkeeper for the last 3 months, not 3 months, but needed a goalkeeper since Pope got injured. Why have they not? They got all the money in the world. Why have they not signed David De Gea? Because he's rubbish, and he was Man United's first choice goalie last season. Can't get a game for anybody. Anthony Martial. When Anthony Martial's contract finishes at Man United, nobody will sign him. But he's made his money, so great. These players are just hanging on like bad smells. They're not good enough, and nothing Erik ten Hag can do about that. Well, what he can do when the player's contract runs out, like David De Gea's did, he said, "No, we're not re-signing you. Go," which is a great decision.
You got that off your chest now.
Yeah, it's like Matteo will clip it up.
It's like therapy, this, isn't it? you spend a fortune lying on somebody's couch getting all that off your chest. It's still 0-0. You've missed nothing. Absolutely, 1 minute of added time. I'm surprised they found that much of interest to add on because it's been a dreadful. This is one of the worst games of the season so far. We've had some corkers. This is dreadful. Is Anana better? Says Alexi. Oh, don't start him off again.
Well, the jury's out. Let's put it that way. The jury's out, but I don't know. You got to give a guy a bit of a chance, haven't you? David De Gea wasn't great when he initially came into Man United as a 20-year-old or whatever he was, 21, and you give him the benefit of the doubt there. He's come on, he was great for a few years, and then
nearly.
All of a sudden he was past it. Anana was a Champions League finalist last year. for Inter, and he played well. They were the better team in the final as well. I think Onana had a good game in the Champions League final. That's the standard of player we've signed. I don't know what happened. He wasn't the same player when he turned up, but maybe he'll get better. Maybe. Patrick Bamford scored a goal.
Oh, don't start me on Leeds. He did. He scored a goal. They won nicely the other day.
Yeah. So it just shows you, isn't it? Players can turn things around because he's had a bad time of it, hasn't he?
He's always going to be able to put a ball in the back of a net. He's just maybe lost a bit of pace, confidence, and maybe a bit of fitness as well because he hasn't played so much, has he?
No.
And they've got some very good other players there in Ruta and Pirro and the like now. So I think I'd be surprised if he stays much longer at Leeds. I think he'll probably move on for a fresh challenge. That might be better for both parties. It's half time. That first half dragged, didn't it? We've only had one free bet. We need a Brighton corner for the next one to land. What we're doing so far, or what we're doing tonight, is that basically we're putting up kind of easier things, supposedly, to happen, but nothing's happening. So they're taking longer to get. We had to wait ages for a Jared Bowen shot. Even the one I gave you was actually not really a shot because it should have been cancelled, but I gave you it anyway. And now we need a Brighton corner for the next two winners of the free bets tonight. Hopefully we get a little bit more excitement in the second half. Hopefully. Anyway, let's have a little chat to Carnu. Off the back of this, we'll get the second half, hopefully, with a bit more action. See you soon.
So it is a very special Behind the Bet with sportsbet.io from the home of Arsenal Football Club, Emirates Stadium. My name's Gavin from Clubhouse TV and this is Carnu, and we've got to Behind the Cause. This is where we're going to give a €500 donation to the charity of your choice, which of course is the Carnu Heart Foundation, which helps children in Nigeria with cardiac diseases they can obtain and receive life-saving surgery within and outside Nigeria. Launched in 2000, and the foundation has helped over 500 children, spending over a reported $4 million. So these children can receive open heart surgery in hospitals around the world. Of all your achievements on the pitch, they are pale into insignificance, really, with what you've done off the pitch with this. Tell me about that, because this is just terrific.
Yeah, I always say to people that, winning trophies, of course, you worked hard for that, and you win trophies to show what you have done, what you have worked hard for. But all the same, this is to do with life, and it's, for me, the most important. If a kid, let's say 7 years, even 2 years, or 8 years, or 5 years, 4 years, having a heart problem, I went through it. I know how difficult it is and how painful it is. But if you have those kids of such age going to go for an open heart operation, which means you have to open the heart to do the operation, definitely it's going to be difficult for them. But we pray for them. We wish they're going to make it. Some of them, they don't make it, but most of the ones that we have done, it was successful. Not only that, it's also difficult even to get the funds for checkups. And that is where the foundation comes in, because we all took care of them from the medical side, from the checkups to where they are traveling to, and the operation, and bringing them back as well. It's very expensive. We started in Great Ormond Hospital in London. Was in pounds, was very high. We did first 3 operations when we started. We have to move to Israel. That was in dollars. And somebody have to tip us and told us India was much better and much cheaper, and they're good as well. So we went to India and we started in India, and up to today we are still doing our operations in India. But the most important thing here is that when you do have that problem with the heart, the kid is not going to be the same anymore. You look at the eyes, most of them are red. Sometimes they don't smile at all. it's not that they don't want to smile, but they have issues with the heart. They don't smile. They don't play with other kids. They don't play along. They keep on crying. I remember the first 3 that we operated here. When I went to them and I saw them, 2 of them came to the foundation for help. One came to me when we were playing the African Nations Cup in 2000 with the mom. And the mom came, they were on the lift. I was on the lift with them. They said, they're looking for me. I said, oh, that's good. Why? They said, we know that you are starting the foundation and want my daughter to be the first that you're going to help. I said, So what's wrong? He says the heart. And immediately he says the heart, the girl fainted. We have to rush to get to the hospital. Thank God it didn't die. And I promised the mom that she's going to be one of the first kids you're going to help. And we took her to London. After the operation of the tray, and I went to visit them, you can see the whole hospital knew they were there. They were running around, they were happy, the eyeballs changed back to blue, you can't control them, they are eating, they were okay again. So I was very, very happy. And I think only that can tell you the kind of relief and happiness that we follow when you see somebody who are about to die and then you saved him.
You literally see them coming back.
Yeah, to life again.
Life.
And Foundation have done, from 2000 till now, we have done 680 open heart operations. So we are still going because we have a lot on the waiting list. We have almost like 100 on the waiting list because everyone now knew about the foundation. And if you have any little problem with the heart, the phone calls are keep ringing. Everybody wants you to help. And Nigeria is a very big country. You can help everyone.
Absolute respect for you.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
It's just an amazing achievement. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you, it's a little bit of fun. I know it's a serious subject, but we're going to have a little bit of fun as well. Because I'm going to ask you 10 questions. It's a bit of a Carnu quiz. And for every question you get right, we're going to add €50 to the 500 that's already going. That's already sorted, okay? So there's a chance to double your money, okay? Some of these questions will just be about football. A lot of these questions are literally just about you. Are you ready to play?
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
So you're looking, aren't you?
No, I'm not looking.
He's looking, isn't he? Hey? Right, you ready? Question number 1. What was your shirt number at Arsenal?
My shirt number at Arsenal, 25.
Is the right answer. That's an extra €50. Okay. Question number 2. Who did you score your first Arsenal goal against? I can give you some clues if you want.
No, difficult. No, I can't get it.
Do you want some clues?
Okay.
Begins with the letter D, and it was in the FA Cup. Starts with D and ends in Derby County. Just say Derby County.
I know the club, but you mean the goalkeeper?
No, they're just the team.
Oh, is Derby County?
Yeah, Derby County.
No, but I thought it's the goalkeeper, because if we have to replay the game.
Yeah. Well, we'll allow that one anyway. We'll allow that as 50. Just say Derby County for official records.
Derby County.
There's the right. Okay. Question number 3. Spell Carnu backwards. Spell your name backwards, Carnu.
UNAK.
That's €150 now. That's 3 questions correct. Some of them are tougher than that, by the way. Okay, this one might be a tough one. Question number 4, who was the first ever Nigerian footballer to play in the Premier League?
John Fashion.
It wasn't. It was a guy called Efen Ikoke.
Oh! I played before John.
Yeah. No, John Fashanu was English.
No, he's Nigerian.
He's English, isn't he, John Fashanu? Oh, we need an official adjudicator.
He's living in Nigeria now.
Yeah, but I believe John Fashanu played for him and represented England. So the answer was Efenikoku.
Yeah.
So that's question number 4. This is question number 5. So at the moment you've got 150 euros on top of the 500. Okay. So in the season you joined Arsenal, who was sent off the most in that season in the Premier League? Emmanuel Petit or Martin Keown?
Emmanuel Petit.
You sure?
Martin Keown.
No! Don't change your answer.
Okay, Emmanuel Petit.
It's the right answer. It was Emmanuel Petit.
Because I know. He keep kicking people.
Okay. Right, here we go. Another question about Arsenal. So you're up to 200 euros now. So it's 700 euros that was. So this is question number 6. Okay. Who was Arsenal's top goal scorer in the season you joined Arsenal Football Club? Who was the leading top scorer?
Aneka.
Is the right answer with 19 goals in 45 appearances. So I make that as up your 250 at the moment. Okay. So you're doing very well. This is question number 7. You made your debut for Nigeria against which country?
Sweden.
No hesitation whatsoever. You're up to 300 euros. I think you've got every single one right, apart from Efenikoku. Okay. You played for West Bromwich Albion in the Premier League. 5 other football teams, starting with the letter W, have played in the Premier League. Can you name 4 of them?
Wolves.
Is one. There's another one in the Premier League right now that starts with W.
West Ham.
West Ham, yep. 2 more. In fact, you scored against one of these. They kind of don't exist anymore, but you did score against these in the Premier League. I think you scored at home at Highbury against them. Oh, no, you did score at Watford.
Yeah.
But this team doesn't really exist anymore. Not in this current, in the guys that they were. You scored against them at Highbury, and you scored against them at their place as well. Do you want a clue? Starts with W.
Wimbledon.
Yes! Yes, Wimbledon is the right answer. The other one for the record was Wigan Athletic.
Oh.
Yeah. So what was that? Question 8 up to 350 euros. Right, question number 9. Name 2 Nigerian players in the Premier League right now.
Iwobi.
Yep. Alex Iwobi plays for Everton. And another one.
Kelechi Iheanacho.
Is the right answer for Leicester. It could have had Tayo Iwaniwi, who plays for Forest, Emmanuel Dennis, who also plays for Forest, Frank Onyeka for Brentford,
Ndidi.
Joe Aribo for Southampton,
And Didi.
and Wilfred Ndidi. But you've got 9 questions so far, 8 right, 450 euros. So it's 400 euros, sorry. Question number 10. Who did you score your last goal against for Arsenal? They're still in the Premier League.
Let's go for Arsenal.
Starts with E.
Everton.
Yeah, there isn't many more, is there? Well done. You got 9 out of 10 right. You got into an extra 450 euros. That's 950 euros going to the Carnew Hart Foundation. So well done.
That's a pass.
Hey?
That's a pass mark.
Hey?
9 out of 10.
Well done.
9 out of 10. That's a pass mark.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. This is Clubhouse TV.
I don't know about you, but I always like a bit of Carnew on a Tuesday evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, Clubhouse TV. And that outbreak thing, we need to mend that because it doesn't come back to me. But anyway, we are back, and we are back for a second half of West Ham against Brighton. The first half will not live long in the memory. I don't think it was dreadful. hopefully we get a second half that is a lot better. Do we see goals? Have we got any hope, Simon?
Well, there's always hope when Brighton are playing because, I'm just trying to work out when the last time Brighton had a 0-0. You're probably going back some time. Brighton just don't do 0-0s, do they? They haven't had a 0-0 this season. And I'm still going, trying to find Brighton's last 0-0. If you can find it before me. There we go. It was October 2022. So
I could have found it before you if I was even bothering to look. I'm watching the darts side.
Yeah, it's a year and 2 months. A year and near almost 3 months since Brighton had the last 0-0. They played a lot of games in that time, and they always get goals in the game, whether they score or concede. West Ham have come the closest, I think, to scoring in that first half. They had that 5-minute spell around the sort of 25, 30-minute mark where they looked really good. Forced a good save.
Areola had to make a couple of saves, didn't he?
He did. Late on in the half, he had to get involved as well. The header from Gross, which he was in the right place to stop. So, arguably with better finishing, this game would be 1-1 already, and we're well on our way to Brighton to win and both teams to score. Still could happen. Still could happen for me. I'm not giving up hope. The price is going to be massive now on Brighton to win and both teams to score, but actually, I still fancy it.
Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Fun, fast, ferociously fair.
10 it is. 10 for Brighton to win.
Taking you through the Premier League this season. And we have got this game, and we also have the chance for you to win free bets along the way. 2 have already been won. We have to wait an age for Jared Bowen to get a shot away, full stop. And then we are next up looking for a Brighton corner. So if we get a Brighton corner, then we'll do the same again. We'll go look for 2 winners for the next set. Hopefully, we get a Brighton corner at some stage. But at the moment, Brighton are deep inside their own half. We're also watching the darts in the studio, Si. And Rob Cross taking on this little fella that's supposed to be 16 but looks about 28.
Yeah. A prodigy. He is. He's just hit another 180. Effortless. And his 180 is like tightly grouped, like it would almost go through the eye of a needle. Just brilliant.
Have you been watching a lot?
No, I've not been watching. I've just been following it, in terms of the headlines it's generated. And it's ridiculous.
Some Christmases I watch it all the way through. I've not actually. This is the first I've actually seen of it. To be honest,
name me somebody else in sporting history. I mean, he's not there yet. This is a quarter-final. If he wins this, it's a semi-final. Sorry, semi-final. He wins this. He's in the final of the World Championship at age 16. If he was to win the World Championship at age 16, how many other world champions have been that early in their career?
You're looking at maybe gymnastics.
Yeah,
you
probably.
get teenage gymnasts, don't you?
Yeah.
You get gold medals in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But
not men.
No.
Okay, so that women do mature mentally and physically sooner than men, generally speaking.
There's been female tennis players as well that have won Grand Slams in their teens.
That's true. Yeah.
Again, not men.
Give me a male world champion at the age of 16. Pelé was 17 when he won the World Cup.
There's not one that springs to mind, I have to say.
Yeah.
Anybody got an idea out there? Any 16-year-old male athletes, sports people that have won big titles? I guess you're probably looking at
sports like table tennis or, where some like absolute prodigy can come out of, I don't know, maybe a major hotbed for a particular sport and just be great at a very early age. But I can't think of too many.
Anna Marie, hello to you this evening. How are you? And good to have you with us on Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. For the next free bet, we are looking for a Brighton corner. And this second half, unfortunately, has started exactly how the first one finished. It's kind of ball just grouped around the halfway line. Nothing happening. Had an early goal in Spain, by the way. Valencia taking on Villarreal. And Valencia have taken the lead in Spain with Yaremchuk scoring in the 4th minute. So early doors there, and Valencia up and running quickly against Villarreal. So we'll have a look at that one in a second, see if there's any ways in betting-wise on that. Brahi says we're back. Koki says we're back. And we have got plenty of you watching out there tonight. Thank you for your eyes and your ears and your messages as we've gone through this evening. It's not the best of matches, but just because it's not a good match, it does not mean there's not bets to be had.
I think West Ham are getting a little bit more desperate now from what I'm seeing. There's more long balls. There's more fight balls coming from West Ham. In the early stages, they were passing it round safely, accurately, 10-yard passes, and now they're going a little bit more direct. Brighton don't seem to be having an issue with that, so I'd say the initiative is now with Brighton, probably.
Just want a rapid bet. I went for the ball to go out of bounds more than once between 47 and 49. And it did. Hurrah.
Yeah.
So I've just won a rapid bet on that. I've also gone for a yellow card between 48 and 58, Si.
Okay.
Sometimes on a match when nothing's happening, a kind of the odd bad tackle goes in, doesn't it? I haven't seen too much to actually steer me towards that so far, because we've had one yellow, which has gone to a West Ham player, and that's it so far in terms of the bookings. But you never know.
You never know. This is not a bookings game. No cards so far.
Well, yeah, we've had one.
Oh, we had one. Okay, who's that?
I think we've had one.
Who was that?
One yellow I've got here, West Ham player.
All right, yeah. In the first half, I think it was, wasn't it?
Johnson.
Yeah.
Johnson booked. He got a yellow in the 31st minute. So that's the only one we've had so far. You're under 6.5, despite his yellow card. Still looks...
yeah, it was 2.
Looks very nice.
Absolute license to print money, I think, at the time. I think the traders needed... to wake up on
they
that
needed you there, didn't they? They needed. What are you doing, traders? You've been far too generous. Although we should never put off traders from being far too generous.
No, exactly. I don't know where they got 6.5 from.
Where are these corners? This is not a Slissy game. No wonder Slissy's not tuned in tonight. He obviously decided this was not going to be a corners match, and there's no point in watching it. Slissy knows his stuff when it comes to the corners. God, he's bowled that out. Look how far he's bowled that out. Over the halfway line. Could you bowl a football that far?
No. Could this be a chance for West Ham?
No.
They can't play that final ball through. I mean, at the moment, you'd say this has got 0-0 written all over, hasn't it? But it's Brighton. It's Brighton. They don't do 0-0, so they will score or concede. I'm sure they will. But I couldn't tell you which at the moment. I think Brighton are looking a bit more Brighton-like in this game.
Brighton-esque.
They're playing slick football. West Ham are playing a little bit more desperate football. That may be just how I'm seeing it, and it might not be 100% true, but I do see it. Brighton maybe being a little bit more settled in the game right now.
I've had 2 rapid bets. I'll tell you what they are, so that you can play along with me, folks. I've gone for the yellow card in that 10-minute slot. I've also gone a little bit left field. I've gone for Evan Ferguson to have a shot on target at some stage in this match. He's not even on the pitch at the moment, but I think he'll come on as a sub. And
shouts for a penalty. Brighton want a penalty. They think there's handball from a slipping West Ham defender. I think slipping is the key bit.
Where's he supposed to put his hands?
Exactly. When you slip, you get some leeway, don't you? We've seen it, a few penalty decisions not given because the defender slipped, and it's at his arm. Fair enough, but he slipped, so yeah, that won't be a penalty.
Oh, Cheese just come up with something here.
Yeah.
I've not seen this. Have we got a latest news thing? Wait, he says Ishak to join Atalanta.
What?
Is that you speculating, Chi, or is that real? I'm not trying to mistrust what you're telling me, but is that real?
I don't think so. I don't think that's real.
Where have you got that from, Chi? Let me know. He's saying that he reckons Ishak's going to join Atalanta. Is that a rumour? I imagine you've probably seen a rumour. Sometimes there are these sites out there, Chi, who they basically put up loads of guesses. One of them lands, and they say, "Oh, we told you that 2 weeks ago," and really they just guessed about 50 things. But Brighton coming forward.
It's a different. They've signed a player called Isak, but it's not
the same one.
Not the Newcastle Isak. No, it's another Isak. Good one, Chi. It's Isak Malcolm Kwakwu, who is joining from Hellas Verona. Maybe he's the one that you think is Isak.
Will he break his duck? Old Kwakwu.
Kwakwu, yeah.
Kwakwu.
Quack, oops.
It's maybe related to an owl. A duck and an owl have had him as a child. Quack-woo! Quack-woo!
James there with some live bird noises.
Some live bird jokes
yeah.
As we go through Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. He's 3 sets to 1 up, the little fella.
Yes, he's not so little, is he? But he's definitely... Oh, chance of Brighton. Oh, what an awful pass. Oh, Gian Pedro denied by Areola, who is just on fire at the moment.
Oh, come on. Use your heads. Get a corner. Honestly. At least get a corner. If you can't score a goal, get a corner.
Yeah.
What more do you need? I need a yellow card in the next
it was Welbeck, wasn't
3.5 minutes.
Pedro, it was Danny Welbeck who had that shot.
He's just hoofed that over the crossbar like he didn't care there. The follow-up shot. This one here, look, watch this. Comes it back out. It's James Milner. Absolutely got underneath that one, put it into Rosette. Desperate. Kind of saw the news pops. I'm trying to verify that. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, different Ishak. Chi. And so there you go. So we've got... there will be quite a lot of transfer news and speculation over the next month or so. So be prepared for some of them to be right and some of them to be wrong.
I think Brighton are going to score soon. I'll be looking at Brighton maybe to take the lead soon in this game. They're hitting the straps now. That was just a slightly overhit pass.
That was perfectly being set up for a corner. For Milner to try and cut that back and to be put behind.
West Ham to lead by the 70th minute is 4.75. I might just play a little bit more safe and go Brighton to lead before the 80th minute at 3.4. But I'm thinking Brighton get the lead in this game now. They've had the best of the last 10 minutes or so. Had that good shot, which we've just seen saved by Areola, who's on fire.
There are some matches, Clubhouse Creatures, we have where things happen all over the place. We have cards, we have goals, we have all sorts of incident, corners galore. This isn't one of them, is it?
No. This is making up for the other ones. Here's João Pedro. Oh, is he fouled? Ref says no.
The referee says no.
I should have gone João Pedro to appeal for a free kick at some stage because that was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hang on. Come on, Brighton. Is this the moment? Come on, Brighton.
Have you got wind of something?
No.
Got me all excited there.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily, so. So let's get a corner.
Sorry. Hey, I'm glad we've not paid to go to the London Stadium and watch this absolute dross tonight. Well, at least we're in a nice warm studio and those in London are getting soaking wet as well.
Come on, Brighton. Let's get a... The passes are dreadful. Do you reckon there's something to do with the surface?
No, the surface looks great. The ball's not bobbling round, is it? It's just two teams who are not performing.
Are playing pants football.
Maybe
Here come West
here.
Ham. Here come West Ham down the left. Can he get good delivery in? Fires it to the edge of the D. In fact, he fires it behind pretty much everybody. And he just basically hit that and hoped, didn't he?
It's like one of my Sabutio corners there where it just goes back into your own half.
Yeah.
Never really had the touch to be a good Sabutio player, if anybody knows the game of Sabutio.
He still likes Sabutio.
Yeah.
Used
I used to play the cricket game as well, Sabutio cricket. Fantastic.
I mean, I was a very lonely child. I used to play myself. Yeah. I used to play tournaments of Sabutio and then play tournaments of... Then I had a pool table. I used to play as if I was snooker players, and I'd play matches as if I was them and go through a draw doing that.
Right.
Yeah. All on my own.
Yeah.
Never had any friends.
No. Well, that's what you'll be doing for the next few weeks, isn't it?
That's what I'm doing for the next 10 days, yeah. Get a Sabutio table. Just play with myself for 10 days, so to speak.
Oh, I thought we were going to see a possible breakaway there for Brighton, but no, this game is just diabolical.
You picked a dreadful credential here, Simon.
Yeah.
It's going to take longer than mine.
Probably is, actually, yeah. I should have gone with a shot, shouldn't I? Just anybody to have a shot.
There was me worried that yours was going to land in about 2 minutes, and it's going to take probably 32 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are you betting out there, everybody? Have you found any ways in on this match that's maybe unders? Have you found something to go against? Because there is the temptation that we always look at of kind of playing goals, we play corners, we play cards, we go overs. On a match like this, maybe going unders is the way. Here come Brighton. Can we get a corner? Can we get a goal? Can we get anything? Have a shot, man. Do something.
Oh!
Straight at the keeper.
It's a great run from João Pedro, but just not the finish.
Even the shots are going straight at keepers. They can't even parry them, can they? For a corner.
Yeah. Areola is in fine fettle at the moment, though.
I think I'd have saved that.
Yeah, it was like a back pass to him, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, he hit it well enough, but it was straight into his chest, wasn't it?
I could do with João Pedro scoring to help my fantasy team, which is about to go out of every single cup competition in the same week.
You said to me when we were on the weekend, you said, have you been playing these cups? I mean, every one of them. I'm doing really well. I said, no, I'm out of all of them. And
I'm about to join you.
Within a few hours of saying that, Simon.
Yeah.
You with me?
I got to the last 500,000, But still, you don't get anything for getting to the last 500,000, do you?
It's quite a big pool still, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of teams in that still. Yeah, there are other cups to come though. I think there's still some more in the later weeks.
Our own league, the sportsbet.io Clubhouse TV League, is
Dave
still
Tyndall's doing far too well in that. He's up in 7th, I think.
Yeah, well, Mo Salah's absolutely scuppered me this week because he missed a penalty last night. I thought, yes, get in. But no, then he goes on to score 2 goals. And I think he set one up as well, didn't he?
I'd got Cole Palmer on the bench, and so Dave Tyndall. And we were before we came on air yesterday, we were bemoaning the fact that we were not going to get Cole Palmer's 18 points. Yeah. And then he's captain Mo Salah. And if he was hoping that Mo Salah wasn't going to play and go to the AFCON, but he did, so we could get Cole Palmer. He ended up captaining him, getting loads more, didn't he?
Yeah. It was 1 goal and an assist, wasn't it? I think he got last night.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than
probably some bonus
than
points
decent. I captain Palmer, says Imarios. Oh, nice work, Imarios. Yeah. Was there a remind me, creatures? Because when I picked my team, there was a reason I put him 3rd in my dugout, and I assume it's because there was a little yellow thing next to him saying 75% chance of playing or something like that. Was there an injury worry with him over the in advance of this round of fixtures? Because I wouldn't have otherwise. Because only recently I captained him like Imarios has. So. I can only think there was some kind of injury.
Oh, chance!
Oh.
Think that was a chance for West Ham, and Souček, I think is it Ward-Prowse has missed it? Souček.
Yeah.
He's onside. He's onside here as the ball reaches him at the back post.
King James, I think it's time to change it, says Brahy. We're not changing it, Brahy. Simon's set the task. Some nights on Clubhouse TV, we don't win at all, do we? So there'll be a Brighton corner at some stage. Palmer was out last game week because of yellow card, says Amarios. Or maybe I took him out and then didn't bring him back in again.
Yeah, maybe.
That's probably it.
Because the game weeks happen so quickly, you just missed the deadline there, haven't you?
And it's my fault. It's bad management on my behalf. I've got no one to blame but myself.
Come on, Brighton. I sense that Brighton still have a goal in them here.
I'm going to go for Brighton to have a shot between 63 and 67.
Yeah, they've had more attempts than West Ham and more attempts on target than West Ham.
I didn't get on it in time.
Is that a corner? It is a corner to West Ham.
Oh, that's no good.
No, not to Brighton, to West Ham.
It's no good for us at all, Simon Barlow. This 16-year-old that looks like he's 28 is absolutely murdering a former world champion on the hockey at the minute.
Yeah, he looks born to the stage, doesn't he? Born to the title, possibly. And this is a former world champion, a guy who's been there, seen it, done it, and he's just getting taken to the cleaners.
Former electrician, isn't he?
That's right.
Rob Cross.
Yeah. Voltage.
High voltage. When we touch, when we kiss, when we touch.
Yeah.
Danger, danger. Come on, we've got a corner for West Ham. It's not the right end of the park, is it? We needed a corner for Brighton.
Yeah. I need a goal for Brighton as well, ideally. Nice take by Jason Steele.
Go on, roll it out quickly. Get him on the break. Oh. Nobody wants to win this.
Double 15 for Cross. Oh, he's got it. That's cat among the pigeons there. Could be the turning point.
Joe says, count it, James. This game is dead. It is dead, but it could change like that. That's the in-play markets, isn't it? You could go unders on them on stuff, Joe. If gamble responsibly, of course, everybody. But we could get a Brighton corner here, and then the next 2 things we put up land bang bang. So here come Brighton looking for a corner. They're probably actually in reality looking for a goal, but hopefully they'll get a corner.
Yeah, it's just so slow, isn't it? The tempo of passing is like, I don't know, from the Stone Age or something. It's just so slow. Get it going, lads. James Milner crosses in, headed down. Could be a chance, could be a shot for Gross. Crossed, and it's scrambled. It's a corner. No, it's not gone for a corner.
Oh, could this be a corner? Come on, lads.
Kick it off his legs.
Oh, come on.
No corner.
Another noise is available here on Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io. Fun, fast, and fair. In fact, fun, fast, and fair maybe isn't the right thing tonight, is it? It's kind of like mixture of fun and kind of like other stuff. Fast is not the right word because this is a slow game. We're fair still. We'll still be fair to you. We'll try to be.
Just, it's too slow and deliberate. That's it. It needs to be a bit more risk and a bit more Just risk at the edge of the penalty area, but they're just slow, deliberate passes that don't really get them anywhere.
As a tagline, Clubhouse TV, slow, deliberate, and an absence of risk isn't quite as
there's always risk.
Fancy, is it?
Always risk involved in betting.
Here comes every single time it could have deflected for a corner. It goes directly off a leg straight back, doesn't it?
Yeah. Credit to how well the defences are playing, but people don't turn up to watch Premier League football to see great defence generally, do they? But that's what we're getting. But I mean, is it great defence when the attack is so laborious? Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just standard defence and rubbish attacking at the moment.
Gee, we just gone for a change of look. That's all. We got the ticker, which I haven't actually put back on, have I? There we go. Ticker with the news coming across the bottom of the screen as well, and our lovely faces in the boxes on the screen as well. So exactly the same service, just haven't got the stats that are often out of date on the right hand side. Yes, doesn't out for a corner, says Koki. We're not getting no corners, hardly any shots.
No,
it's very disappointing. If it was a school report, it would say could do so much better.
Yeah.
Did you get lots of school reports like that?
A couple. Yeah, I think I set the standards. I set the bar low, funnily enough, quite early on in my school career. So they thought I did quite well in the end.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Substitution.
Here he comes, Evan Ferguson to land my rapid bet.
Yeah, I mean he's a player that can he can certainly score a goal and turn things around.
He scored that tremendous hat-trick earlier on in the season, didn't he?
Yeah, it's been a funny season for him, hasn't it? It's like injury interrupted, hasn't quite got a run of games going yet.
Scored for the Republic of Ireland as well. But Pedro's form and then his injuries have not kind of just put him back a step, haven't they?
And Danny Welbeck's as well. Welbeck has done a really good job without scoring the goals that João Pedro has. But
he's another youngster that looks a lot older than he is, isn't he, Evan? Because he's such a big fella.
Yeah.
Because he's only young still, Evan Ferguson. He's still just a little baby, really. How old is he? He's 19 and not long since turned 19, so he's only a youngster. But very, very talented. There'll be a big club coming for him at some stage. He'll possibly be the next Brighton 100 million man.
Yeah, I think they're a selling club, aren't they? And they recognise the right time to sell our assets. Mitoma's a player who probably could have gone in the summer, but I think Roberto De Zerbi said, no, you stay with us for another season, then we'll let you go next summer. So I would imagine Mitoma is towards the front of the queue of being Brighton's next big sale.
I think Evan Ferguson's got everything. Just needs a little bit more experience to stay fit, and he could. Sky's the limit for him. He's tremendous potential. He's somebody that if I was to Manchester United, I'd be looking at.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are.
You got Ferguson and Hoyland up front for you for the next 10 years. That'll be all right.
Yeah, ex-Man United fan. I mean, it might still be a Man United fan secretly, but you're a Brighton player, so he's not going to profess a love for Manchester United, is he? But
you get a lot of Manchester United fans in Ireland, don't you?
They do. Yeah.
All played in. Could have been a lot of Irish players.
Could be a chance.
Go on, hit it.
Splot.
Hit it. Deflect it somehow.
No.
Come on, Brighton. Do your thing.
This is like watching a kids match now, isn't it?
Do your thing. Come on. Let's get a corner. Join hands around the world, everybody.
Okay.
We're thinking for a Brighton corner. This is what. Just think. All you're thinking of is Brighton corner. Everybody, transmit it.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Transmit it.
That corner flag.
Here we go.
Oh, why?
Oh, didn't get a deflection, did
Ferguson. Oh, he's had an instant impact though.
He tried for us, didn't he? That's not a corner, though, is it? I don't think. And goes behind. So that was really good play by Ferguson. Little dink on his right foot, back onto his left foot, and cracked it away. But not enough to get me my free bet because it wasn't on target.
Nope. And West Ham continue to... they look second best to me. I think Brighton are still on top. West Ham might get something on the counter-attack, but they're not really committing enough players to the counter-attacks at the moment either, so...
Come on, somebody do something good. That'll be my team talk at half-time. Come on, boys, do something good. We're watching more darts, aren't we, in the football? Because the football's really not really that exciting tonight.
No. We need a goal. Come on, Brighton, get it now.
We goal or a corner, come on.
They're just slinging hopeful crosses into the penalty area, which is Okay, maybe now. Then João Pedro can't control that.
The ball's finding at his feet.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It was a hard one to control, that, wasn't it? But look at that. That ball's dreadful. There's just no cohesion here in either side. They're putting in two of their worst performances at the same time against each other, and nothing's coming out the other end.
Big moment here in the darts, James. If Cross finishes this, makes it 3-2.
He's not going to, though, is he? 220s isn't enough.
So now 74 checkout for Littler.
He's got... what's that then? That'll be... How would you take that? I'm not sure.
It tells you on the screen.
That's how they think. Treble 14. Well, no, we tried it. 20.
Oh,
he's missed it.
A shot on target, if you can call it that, from Pascal Gross, but no. Easy save for Areola.
Oh, I want to go home. It's very rarely on this station do I actually want to go home, but I'm actually... This football's dreadful. What? Send me some messages, Clubhouse creatures, on the chat to keep me awake and alive, and tell me some jokes. Tell me something that's funny that's happened to you in the last few weeks. Just energise me, because this is poor. You can close the stream and go home, James, says Joe. Thank you very much, Joe. They'll let me off early.
There's got to be a corner soon. There's got to be a Brighton corner soon, because they've been on top. But West Ham, no.
It's just awful. This is the worst game I've seen all season.
It's the worst game I've seen all year.
Yeah.
All calendar year.
Well, yesterday's was quite good. 4-2. Go home.
Penalty.
Go back home, James. I will take your chair, says Koki.
Penalty in Spain. Valencia. And I think they're going to score it as well. So that was quickly...
So they've had a good start, haven't they? Yeah. That's to go 2-0. Yeah.
Come on, Brighton. Here you go. That's it, Brighton. More like it.
Come on, Brighton. To the byline. Get your corner. Come on. Oh, he's just running. He's let him steal the ball off him without...
I was like watching Anthony try and beat a defender.
What price is the draw? What price is 0-0 right now?
I mean, you'd have to look at
it's
it.
It's a bit late, isn't it?
Under 0.5 is 1.68.
I mean, it's happening, isn't it?
It is at the moment, yeah. Webster's gone down with an injury. Not good for Brighton there. Who have they got in the cup? Let's have a look at these two teams' next games in the FA Cup. West Ham home to Bristol City. They'll play the reserves there. Probably should still get through. And Brighton's next game is away at Stoke. Tricky one.
Latest news on Jadon Sancho, by the way. He's going to rejoin Dortmund on loan by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, good luck to Dortmund. He might be really fired up and do well for them. I'm sure they'll hope that is the case overseas. I'm sure Man United will hope he's fired up and does well for Dortmund over the next 6 months, because it'll drive his price back up. That's what they want to do. They want to sell him. I don't think he's got any route back to United with Erik ten Hag in charge.
Good night, Anna Marie.
Good night. So United are hoping that he plays well for Dortmund and his price goes up.
Let's read the ticker, shall we? Transfer news. Real Madrid and PSG striker Kylian Mbappe. Oh, sorry, Real Madrid want Kylian Mbappe, who's out of contract at the end of the season, apparently.
Yes. There'll be some... okay, so when you say out of contract, there will be some way that... Let me just see what his contract is.
Oh, you got it. You got it on the microfiche there.
Microfiche, what's that?
That's what they used to have in the libraries. You could get the old documents out on microfiche. Papa Sarr set to sign new 6.5-year deal at Spurs.
Okay. Yeah, so you're right. Kylian Mbappe's contract finishes in June 2024. There is a player option for 1 year, but that's obviously up to him whether he signs it or not up to PSG whether they renew his contract for another year. So, yeah, definitely it's going to be completely down to Mbappe whether he moves for nothing and gets a massive, ridiculous wage.
Alexis had the Christmas cracker jokes out. Why did the Scarecrow get an award?
Don't know.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Oh, like it.
Did you know, Simon, diarrhea is hereditary?
No.
It runs in your genes.
Oh dear. These are good. These are the sort of jokes I should tell my son.
Birmingham City sacked Wayne Rooney after 15 games in charge, says the ticker. We knew that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We knew that.
Was it 2 wins? Or maybe 1 win in 15 games, something like that?
He's not a very good manager, is he?
when he was at Derby, he did quite well under trying circumstances. But I did some bits and pieces for Derby at the time, and what they said was that Steve McLaren was helping him out, was helping him not pick the team, but certainly get the tactics right and do a lot of the stuff. And that's fair enough, because Wayne Rooney that was his first job in management.
Spurs looking for a £25 million deal to sign Genoa centre-back Radu Dragusin by the end of this week, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. Live, West Ham versus Brighton. He's dreadful, it says. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It should do.
And then he went to MLS, and I don't think he did particularly well with, DC United? But, it's only MLS, and, it's experience for him. But Brighton, the Birmingham job just went badly from game one, and he came in under circumstances where the fans didn't want him because they liked the previous manager, and it's just, I think it's the end of his managerial career. I don't know who gives Wayne Rooney another job after this.
He won't go to Leeds. And transfer news: Sheffield United close to signing Ben Brereton Diaz from Villarreal on loan. Apparently,
that'll be a good move.
FA Cup third round weekend: Arsenal versus Liverpool. That's one to look forward to. Man City, Man United, Chelsea, all play lower league opposition.
Yeah.
So some good ties actually coming up over the weekend. Sergio Reguilon to return to Tottenham.
Is that right? Okay. End of loan spell, yeah.
After Manchester United cut short his loan spell.
Yeah, well, Luke Shaw's back now, isn't he? I think this might also be to do with the new owners or the influence of Ineos looking at it. We don't want loan players. Loan players are not...
it's not ideal, is it?
Not ideal, no. It's a desperation measure. And it was, United were desperate for a left-back before the start of the season because they had two bad injuries to their others. But
Manchester United have extended Victor Lindelof's contract for another season. Also going to get rid of Donny van Beek, aren't they, to Eintracht Frankfurt. I reckon he's a good player. I don't think they made the best of him.
He had his chances, but you have to show a bit more than what he did during his time at Manchester United.
Liverpool and Spurs are weighing up summer moves for Wolves forward Hwang Hee-chan.
Yeah. I think Wolves have got a real job on their hands keeping hold of him because, clubs are looking at him going, what a player.
He's been in prolific form, hasn't he?
So you said, who was it, Tottenham and...
I don't know, it's scrolled off
Spurs
now.
and Liverpool, was it, I think?
I think so, yeah. Is that a corner?
It is not.
No, Tom Kearney signed an extension for his Fulham contract. He's Fulham through and through, isn't he?
Yeah, and
he's their version of Tom Lockyer.
Maybe so, yeah. I've not really rated him that much until I've seen him latterly this season, and he's played very well for them in that central midfield role.
Well, there we go. We've gone through the ticker. What else can we do, Si? Because there's nothing to talk about football-wise.
Now this game just continues to bobble along. We're into the last 13 minutes, and
it's bobbling.
How many shots on target? Let's see what the XG is. This will be funny. What's the XG in this game?
Can you get minus XG?
So West Ham have suddenly... Well, West Ham have got 0.61 XG. Brighton, 1.48. So they've had some chances, Brighton. I think it was that header in the first half, the João Pedro dribble and shot that was straight at the keeper. They should have scored a couple of goals here, Brighton, but they haven't.
Oh.
Is this the moment for the corner? Get a corner. They're just messing around with it.
I'm just sitting here rapid betting to keep myself amused.
Oh, straight to the keeper.
Oh, your corner suggestion was awful.
Was it?
I think you should have gone
0-0. Oh, that one, yeah.
0-0 at half time.
Yeah. It's 2-0 in corners to West Ham. My suggestion that Brighton get more corners than West Ham is also looking pretty dire as well.
When you put up your the next thing for the free bet is going to be a Brighton corner, I thought that's going to land in 5 minutes, 10 at the most. We're still waiting.
Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting?
Keep going.
Don't know the next bit.
Final score of the second half, 0-0, is 1.96 on the rapid betting.
Oh, okay. That's a good bet because in play, you're going to get the draw at 1.66, under 0.5 goals at.
I've got in big. Without
the same.
I've gone in big without balance. Yeah, don't score,
1.8.
Don't score a goal now. Don't score a goal now.
Oh,
he's going to give a penalty. No, he's not.
No, he fell on the ball. He slipped over.
Give me a corner for Brighton. I want to ask the creatures a question. Who will be the penalty taker when Salah isn't playing, says Alexi. That's a good question. Trent? Will Trent Alexander-Arnold take the penalties, you think, for Liverpool?
Don't know. Maybe.
Will the ball go out of bounds more than once between 82 and 84? Yes, it will. I'm just going to put loads of rapid bets on to keep myself amused. So where are we now? 82. I've still got about 90 seconds left for that. Oh dear, Clubhouse creatures. Dear, oh dear. Clubhouse creatures. This is poor. These two teams really should be fined by the FA for their performance today.
They should.
To the byline, Brighton. Oh, he cut it back. It doesn't get a corner. That was nailed on corner. If you'd frozen the frame just before he crossed that ball, it was a nailed on corner. Managed to squirt it past the legs instead. Darwin Núñez suggests Alexi. He can't hit a barn door with a banjo, can he?
No.
I won't trust him to score me penalties. Come on, Brighton. Let's get a corner for us. Let's get a corner. Let's get it on.
I might be going through in one of my cup competitions.
Oh.
If it stays the same, I think I'll be going through in the Sky Sports Cup.
Here we go, Here we go. Corner. Oh.
It's all because of my bench guy stepping in, Douglas Luiz, who I dropped, coming in for Mohamed Kudus, who didn't play. So, am I sending you to sleep, or is the game sending you to sleep? West Ham are 7. The draw is 1.57. Brighton are 3.75. Just a goal in the game is now 2.32. Remember we said under 6.5 bookings was a play. The bookings market is now over 2.5 or under 2.5, and there's only been one so far. So that's going to land, the under 6.5.
That was never in doubt, was it?
No.
Beautiful work, Simon Barley.
That's my bet of the year so far.
I mean, you did say lump on, gamble responsibly, in brackets after it.
I did say this is going to be a big bet for me, yeah.
Will the first shot after 84 be on target? Not if the rest of this match is anything to go by, no. Ball played in. Oh, it's going to be a throw-in to Brighton on the far side. No, it's not. In fact, I think it might be... Oh, no, they've already taken the throw-in. Come on, let's get a corner for the creatures. Let's get at least 2 more free bets out there into the wilderness. Let's set these free bets free. Joining us on Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io, where we're having a telethon. Donate to set the free bets free. Come on, Brighton. Who are you texting?
I'm just clearing the... my wife goes on at me for not clearing my notifications off my phone.
I've got loads on mine. But your wife doesn't see my phone.
I hope not. No. Because it's just pictures of her on it, isn't it?
No, you don't see my phone.
Oh, dear.
Oh, come on. Somebody do something. Tell me another joke, Alexi. Please, somebody do something.
Big moment here. This is to go 4-2 up in the darts for Luke Littler.
Got a challenge for you. Describe your current mood in a GIF.
He's done it. 4-2. First to 6 sets. Current mood.
Genetics has done it beautifully.
Did he have that one to hand? That's his GIF of this game.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, any journalists out there that need to write a match report for West Ham Brighton, just look at Genetics' GIF. Just put that in your paper. That's all you need. Delexi's saying he thinks it might be McAllister to take the Liverpool penalties. I don't know. I reckon it might be Trent. I think it might be Trent Alexander-Arnold. But we will see. If they get a penalty while Mo's away, we will find out, won't we? Oh, the ball did go out of bounds more than once between 82 and 84, so that's a rapid bet one. And if this stays the same, then another rapid bet wins as well. Brahy's crying. Oh, look at Brahy's face.
Yeah, is that Squid Games, I think? Possibly.
I've never watched Squid Games. Is it worth watching?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Very good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Seriously? Any other people? I'm not distrusting Simon, but anybody else want to second Simon's Squid Games recommendation? I might watch it tomorrow. I downloaded on the American Pie 7-set box set of films, and I've basically been watching them over New Year and stuff.
I do.
That's just mindless fun, isn't it? Yeah, you
Definitely
should,
mindless.
says Brahy. Brahy's recommended Squid Games as well.
That's what this game's been like.
That's a very good one. That is the excellent Stephen Gerrard making an absolute mess of that, isn't he? Making an absolute mess. Brahy's shared something. What's Brahy shared?
Squid Games.
It's not downloaded onto my screen yet, Brahy. I'll open it soon and have a look. Are we going to get a Brighton corner?
No.
We're not, are we?
This is a good chance. This is another chance that will go add on to their XG of probably near 2 now for Brighton, but they keep missing them.
Alexi's one's good. Why? West Ham. Why Brighton? What? That Squid Games creature's a bit eerie. One big eye.
Now he's one of the. I don't know what he's like a guard maybe. At the game centre. This guy Littler is just ridiculous. This kid Littler is ridiculous. Just hit another 180 there.
I'll tell you what. We're looking for a Brighton corner. I'll basically change that to any corner. Any corner. And hopefully if we get any corner either end now gets a chance for a free bet.
Yeah.
Because it's been dreadful tonight. And thank you for staying with us. Because it's not been the best match, has it?
No.
4 minutes ago, says Brahy. Hopefully we don't get lots of added time. Sometimes I'm shouting at the screen, come on, give me loads of added time because I want more. But I actually want this to stay 0-0 and finish as soon as flipping possible because it's awful.
I mean, there's not been many stoppages. There's not been any fouls or many substitutions. So there shouldn't be that much stoppage time.
I mean, you'd imagine the referee's quite bored. He's not had anything to do either, is he?
He's had an easy night. He's picked up his money. He's had nothing to do. So, yeah, more games like this.
Brahy's suggesting a throw-in.
No controversy at all. There won't be a throw-in from now on. The ball won't go out of play now between now and the final whistle because they're just passing it and going nowhere.
Come on, give me corner. Give me corner.
Oh, finally.
Come on.
Finally,
It doesn't even bring it down.
It goes out of play.
You can't get a corner if you can't control a ball, man.
It wasn't a great pass. It's not his fault. The pass was awful.
Adam Lallana, who went into our veterans team, didn't he?
Yeah.
I've forgotten how old he was now. 36 or something?
34, knocking on 35 maybe, I think.
Cracking on, isn't he?
We had to go down to the 34-year-olds because there just literally weren't enough 35 pluses to fill a team, were there?
He's cracking on old Adam now. But literally old Adam. I am looking for no goal. In fact, I'm covered. I've had a bet on a goal to be scored between 81 and the end of the second half.
Yeah.
And I've had a bet on the final score being 0-0.
Oh,
They're both better than double.
Hedged.
Yeah.
Good hedge.
So I'm basically either way, I'll win. It'd be better if it's 0-0. It's a bigger price if it's 0-0.
It's honestly, it's like watching a kids game. It's like watching two primary schools play each other where they just pass the ball and go nowhere with it and then give the ball away and then the other team goes nowhere with it and give it away again.
This is very, 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 very disappointing.
I mean, that's harsh on primary school football games. I've seen some good ones. This just happens to be reminding me of a particularly bad one I also saw.
It's very disappointing. Very disappointed in both sides tonight. Nobody went with 2 or less in the cup question, surprisingly, says Chi.
No.
I think everybody thought goals tonight, didn't we?
Like I say, Brighton have not had a 0-0 in 13 months.
Chance for Brighton, shoots. Is that a corner? No, he doesn't parry it. He puts it in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was going around the post for a corner. Oh.
Areola's deserved his clean sheet. He's played well tonight. Nobody else on the pitch.
He's
really.
another one with 2 names, isn't he? Areola.
Yeah. Harry and Ola.
Are you with me on the 13th when we're back?
No.
You've not looked that far ahead, have you?
No, I don't think I am.
Yeah. I'll see who's with me on the 13th when we're back, because we're going to miss you for the next 10 days or so, because we are away. There's no Premier League football for a little bit.
Miss you like crazy, Gonna miss you like crazy. No.
Help.
I thought you'd be joining in on that song, James.
Help. Oh, that's the rotor that's on here is the old rotor. That's no good. That's for last year. Yeah. What were we doing on the 13th of January last year? I don't know. Anyway, I will tell you in a second who I'm back with on the 13th of January. And have a nice few days, everybody. Have a nice 10 days. You can do whatever you like. And then you can rejoin us on the 13th.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Do something positive in the new year.
Do something nice for other people. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be doing lots of work for charity in the next 10 days.
I'm going to be stripping wallpaper.
You'll be stripping?
Stripping wallpaper.
You're that desperate for work?
Yeah. I've got no work from you, so I'll be stripping wallpaper for the next few days.
Here's a reason to join us on Saturday the 13th. It's me and Gav.
Oh, blast from the past.
Me and Gav together on Saturday the 13th.
Goal in Spain.
We'll see you then.
For Villarreal.
Yeah, it's a little... right at the end of the first half, that, isn't it? So over 2.5 lands in the first half there. But this is 0-0, and we've got 5 minutes from somewhere. They found 5 minutes to add on to our misery tonight. You can guarantee there'll be a corner in the 5th minute of this added time, just to make our job even harder. There's a throw on the far side. Oh, bless you, everybody. Bless you for staying with us all the way through tonight. Clubhouse TV with sportsbet.io, the world's most fantabulous Bitcoin sportsbook. And we are...
Is this a corner?
Is it...
No corner. No.
Come on, somebody do something. Give us a corner now. Then we can do a free bet very quickly. Go on, quick. Otherwise, we'll have to do overtime, Si. But for the creatures, we'll do overtime.
It's near, the ball is near the corner. All you need to do is get a crossing, but nobody wants to put a crossing. This is like stalemate in chess, isn't it?
Only 2 corners in the entire match.
Yeah, or a re-rack in snooker, where literally neither player can advance the game on any further, so they would just start it all again. Maybe they should do that in the Premier League. If you get a game like this that's 0-0 after 90 minutes, just like, right, we're just going to start it all over again. That didn't count.
I don't want to start this again. I don't want to watch this again.
I've just come up with a revolutionary idea for football.
I'm not sitting through another 90 minutes of this tripe.
Call it a re-rack and see if it's just as bad again. Because it can't be,
But what happens if it is? We've got to stay another hour and a half watching this rubbish.
In snooker, when they do a re-rack, the second frame, or when they replay the frame, it's never... very rarely does it happen again.
I think we could play this game for another 5 and it'd still be like this. There's just no chemistry between these two sides, and they're not playing very well. I do like West Ham stripy socks, though.
Oh, yeah. I only just noticed them. Oh, referee's got a touch.
He's with his backside.
Yeah.
Bent down to try and get out of the way, and he smacked him on the bottom. Nice control, ref. Nice control. Only 2, and they were lucky, says Bray. 2 corners, and they were lucky. What a game. No goals, no corners, no cards.
This might be the game with the fewest corners in the Premier League this season.
I think we had 2 corners and 1 card, haven't we? We had any more than 1 card?
No, just still the 1 card, yeah.
So, you should get bonus payout for that. Yeah. Going under 6.5 and only getting 1, you should get like a percentage increase on your take, shouldn't you? That's a fantastic bet, Simon. Yeah,
it's one of those markets there. You only get what they offer. So they didn't offer you an under 4.5. I probably would have played under 4.5 at that time, but it just wasn't there. But yeah, the odds, it was 2. The odds were 2 for under 6.5 cards.
Come on, Brighton.
Ridiculous.
Well, and we've opened it to either side, haven't we? It can be either in this corner. Come on. Is it here? Do we get a corner? Do we get a corner?
We're trying to walk it in.
Do we get a corner? No, we don't. We're into, we're nearly there now. We're nearly at the end. It's had 0-0 written on all over it from basically the kickoff, hasn't it, really, to be honest, today?
Yeah, I only really noticed that it was probably going to be 0-0 about half an hour ago. I was still thinking at the start of the second half, this has got goals
30 seconds remain. Referee, put us out of our misery. Let the creatures go off and enjoy 10 days without us.
Yeah.
Oh, see you next month, says Joe. It's not next month, Joe. 13th of January, Joe. 13th of January.
Yeah.
So we're in 10 days' time.
Maybe Joe's off on holiday and he's not going to watch us. But
he said see you next month all year.
Oh.
Joking. He says he's joking. You better be, Joe. I expect you to report for duty on the 13th.
I think he's jonking, not joking.
Come on, ref. Finish us off. We're past the 5 minutes now, and he's still keeping it going. Come on, finish it. Finish it. Nobody's enjoying it. Hey, it's finished. It's finished, and it is 0-0. And we nearly get a corner right at the end, but we don't. Oh, Clubhouse creatures.
Diabolical.
We thought we would be throwing 3 bets left, right and centre at you tonight by giving you loads of different things to aim for, and we'd get to all of them. But unfortunately, we only landed one, and that was Sergio and Thunder Night. You're the only winners tonight. 10 USDT heading your direction. So sorry, everybody else, but we can't do anything about a rubbish game of football, can we?
Tripe, as you described it, and they should hang their heads in shame, but they won't.
Clubhouse creatures, it has been lovely over Christmas and New Year to be with you. We're going to take a little bit of a break. You've got the FA Cup and other things to look forward to. Stick with sportsbet.io and join me and Gav on the 13th of January. We'll be back for a Premier League's return on the 13th of Jan. We will see you then. Look after yourselves for the next 10 days. We'll see you on the 13th. Cheers all.
Covering every game of the English Premier League, Champions League and Europa League, live as they happen. This is Clubhouse TV.